Heyo, and welcome to a surprise Sunday afternoon. Another surprise Sunday afternoon. My wife and daughter are not going to be invading this. Instead, Bunkmasta B has invaded, not just in the chat.
Normally on these streams, I'm in the chat as one of the many people there, but this time I am on camera, on your mic. I'm here. I still don't know what I'm doing here, but I'm here.
I'll tell you what you're doing here. Bunkmasta, who used to go by his real name, and then I had to get used to a new name.
I got tired of doxing myself when I was on like every single stream, and people were like, "Hey, there's my buddy Ben," and I was like, "Oh, if people are starting to recognize my name, maybe I shouldn't be broadcasting that everywhere."
Just a sec. I just got a text from Taylor that we're going to be doing Batter Days tonight. It's going to be Batter Days or something. But yeah, we're going to be doing that tonight because my daughter's coming over for dinner tomorrow night. So not only do we have Bunkmasta in the house, we'll get the rumored presence of the Minister of Comics tonight, but I don't know what time. Let me see what it is. What time? He's already got a great thumbnail for it. So Bunkmasta, yeah, he was doxing himself. He changed his name. He's got a YouTube channel, and the link for it is down below in the description.
And Cycle Cleveland is exactly right. Yes, we Clevelanders, we have to stay under the radar. You know, if we're yelling at everyone all the time in all caps about indie comics, like you can't put yourself out there like that.
Batundes, right. Batterundes. Twice the Jess is twice as nice. Cycle, I love you, buddy. I also am very familiar with Cleveland because up until I lost my aunt and uncle in the early 2000s, they sort of adopted me. So, and my mom and dad originally lived in Akron, and then we moved to California when I was very, very little. But my relatives stayed in Cleveland, so I visited Cleveland a lot, all the way through 2004, I guess. So, well, that's almost 20 years ago now, but I knew it up until then.
I was going to say, you were coming here before me. I'm natively a Vermonter. I grew up in Vermont. So I was super excited when you took your Vermont trip last year, because that is my old home. Lived in Denver for the last 10 years and then basically moved to Cleveland right before the pandemic. Was like, all right, cool. I'm going to meet all these new people. And then the world shut down. I was like, cool, I'm going to meet nobody.
And of course, that's my philosophy. I want to meet nobody, but you, on the other hand, are young and want to go out and experience life. Hey, I already did that. I don't want to do that anymore. But you have the Descendants t-shirt on, which is one of the greatest punk albums ever. Did you, in fact, name your son after Milo?
Unbeknownst to my wife, yes, I did. So our older daughter,
Johnny Rotten.
She has yes, exactly. We're big Sex Pistols fans. We knew absolutely if we had a daughter, it was going to be Johnny Rotten. But with her, it was a family name on both sides. So like before we even were talking about having kids, it was just like if we have a daughter, we have.
Psycho Cleveland knows what that is.
Is that Pain Pampa Clunk?
Oh, exactly. Bunk knows what it is.
I've been here for a long time.
Oh yeah,
yes.
you have.
I was gonna say I'm missing the mouth harp and everything like that. But yeah.
Oh, where is that? Oh yeah, it's over here. I
just assumed it was still in a box somewhere.
No, I play it on Omnibros. I don't know that everybody here gets the connection. But so, did you move there because of work, or you wanted to? Try the Midwest and the snow? Well, Vermont, you are, and Denver, you already know the snow.
Honestly, Cleveland is like a much more mild Vermont. So Denver, my wife and I both moved there independently of each other. We spent, basically, we both spent our 20s there. It was amazing. We met each other, got married, and it was a wonderful place for just the two of us. And then when we did have our daughter, Johnny Rotten, because neither of us were from there, and Denver is a pretty stupidly expensive city. we kind of started looking at things, and it was like the only reason we're here right now is because we are physically here now. There's nothing keeping us here. And again, I grew up in rural Vermont. I love Vermont, but unfortunately, there's not much there. And outside of the fact that my family was there, there wasn't really a reason to move there. Whereas Cleveland, my wife's family is all here. Cleveland, despite what everybody says, like, oh, Cleveland knows. We got the metro parks. We got the towpath. We've got everything you could ever want here.
I loved Cleveland whenever I
Cleveland's
visited
great.
it. And the most impressive thing, I think, are the neighborhoods and the Tudor style housing that is in Cleveland. There's no Tudor style housing here, but I loved the Tudor style houses and the individual little houses. I didn't see any, development cookie cutter things in Cleveland whenever I visited. So now I didn't get to, wait, what's that? Is Shaker Heights the kind of upper
So Shaker's
suburbs?
over on the east side, over by where Cleveland's talking about, Little Italy. Yeah, you got all that on the east side. I'm on the west side, so Cycle's got he gets a little defensive when I talk Cleveland here.
Where are Bay Village and Rocky River?
So those are both on the west side, and
Okay.
Rocky River is actually where one Brian K. Vaughan is from, and it's actually where the fictional town of Stony Stream, that Paper Girls, which I adore,
Right.
actually takes place in Rocky River. So Stony Shore, double S, Rocky River, double R, and that's where he grew up. So I mean, you get the Westgate Mall, you get all these things that if
Yep.
you're from here, you're like, I know that.
Yeah, my aunt and uncle, one lived in Rocky River, the other lived in Bay Village, and I played some of the greatest golf of my life with my uncle on West. What is the name of that? I haven't been to that country club in years. West something. Gosh, I shot below par there back in the 1990s. West Side, no, West Bend, West, whatever. Anyway, I loved playing golf there. I loved going to there. Yeah, here's the link.
That is me. If you want to see some videos that are way worse than Omnidogs, you can go, check that out.
Way worse. What's that mean?
I mean, there's a reason everybody is here. It's because we love your videos, Omnidog.
Okay, let's make sure that no, it doesn't. Oh, and here he is getting defensive. Okay.
Yeah.
Art Museum, Little Italy. Cycle send me goiter from Jake, Coventry. I want Jess to see the bunk memes in his phone right now. Okay, I'll check. You also have Cleveland Rocks from the Drew Carey Show. You mean the Ian Ian, what's his name, that wrote that song back when I was in college? Ian Hunter. He wrote that song.
There you go. I've only ever known it as the President of the United States of America version.
Oh, what now? They covered it.
Yeah, that was the one that was used for the Drew Carey Show.
Okay. I have a lot of well, it seems to be just Cycle just yelling at us right now, which makes me feel a lot better knowing that Cycle's in the chat yelling. Let me go back to the beginning. Wow. Oh, official Scott Stapp is here. Max rubbing in my face that I haven't seen Spider-Verse yet. That brings up a good point.
By the way, Max just put out a new song. Everybody go listen to it.
Oh, good. Yeah, Max is on YouTube and he's on Instagram. Please don't say anything about Spider-Verse. That is in every chat that I'm in on Facebook. And that's the only reason I'm on Facebook, is that's the way I chat with people. Please don't say anything about it. I'm seeing it Tuesday. But that Guardians of the Galaxy never got spoiled. All these things, Ant-Man, nothing ever got spoiled. But everybody's talking about Spider-Verse. Have you seen it yet?
I have not. That's going to be one that I see with my daughter. And opening day crowds are not something that I'm trying to go to. But she is a huge Ghost Spider fan. So for her, it's not the Miles movie. It's the Ghost Spider movie. So we have a special day set up. I don't know when it is yet, but we're waiting until those crowds die down. So I'm in that same boat as you. I'm trying to, just hands over the ears. La la la. I'm not listening.
Yeah. That's let's see. My wife likes live Spider-Man, but she's not, sadly, a fan of animated Spider-Man. I showed her the movie and it just wasn't her thing. So I'm going to go with my movie buddy. But I haven't talked to that young lady in a long time. I guess it must have been Wait, when did
talking about Mermaid Cora as a as a deep cut here?
That is Coral, yeah. Yeah, Mermaid Coral. I haven't talked to her in a long time, but she was dressed perfectly as Ghost Spider-Gwen. But I don't know that we're going to go to that Alamo. There's a new Alamo closer to us, so I don't know that I'm going to get the chance to run into her again. Mermaid Coral. What else? People have such a better memory about my show than I do. There's William Lee, my buddy Super Laugh Hard.
What's up, Super Laugh Hard?
James writing a song about you already.
James probably knows more about my life and about everybody who's on the comics community in YouTube than them themselves.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, that ties into something that I recently got. I got two things. One, this book, Bang, by Grethus.
I've heard of that book. Yeah, I believe it's a Gree Art Hose. I think is the pronunciation.
Griet Hose. Okay.
That's it. Yeah.
And apparently you did the first YouTube review of this, he tells me.
I did. I kind of cheated a little bit because everybody else was putting up pictures of them like that, so I didn't have that, and I did a surprise video while Josh was off at summer camp in Alaska and he was playing freeze tag. He came back and I had that, so that was a cool feeling. Josh is an absolute git, but he's actually he's a pretty good artist, and especially chapter 4. The art really steps up. He plays with shadows, light and dark, really well. I try not to say too many good things about him, but it'd be hard to, not saying that would be a lie.
Well, I can't wait to read this and do the 20th review. Apparently, everybody on YouTube's reviewing this book. But it reminds me that he said he Facebook messaged me and said, "Oh, great, you're having Bunk on." And I said, "How the hell do you know that? I just created the show." And he goes, "Oh, James told me." And I'm like, he said, "Your producer James told me."
So that was I waited. I didn't say anything. That was from last week's show that you did with Omnicat, where you had said that you wanted to reach out to me, and then he clipped that, and then he put that online. So I was going to say, nothing from me. That was all from you.
I understand in the very fine condition, what's it called? The Discord, that there's about 45 different Omnidog memes that he's created.
You are a very popular GIF format that James has. Your SOB is probably my favorite reaction GIF.
I don't have that. That's in the Omni Bros one. That's, I think, Geo create, or did James create that, or did Geo create that?
To the best of my knowledge, any GIFs have been originated by James.
Oh, and he sends them to Geo. Okay.
I would assume so. James if he ever goes rogue and turns evil, we're all in a lot of trouble. But so far, he has used his powers for good, and he has done amazing things, including making GIFs of everybody and making things out there.
That's awesome. So we have Johnny from Finland. Worth a repeat viewing. Jesse Say What? Ilan. Okay. Cycle, we saw you. Sweet Mimosa, welcome. Natural Bridge, notice your Descendants shirt. It is Boss. Yeah.
So actually on that thing real quick, and Spooey, absolutely, we cannot skip that because Spooey is an amazing individual. But you and Kristen were actually the first non sort of real life people I talked to about when Milo was born. When we were getting ready to leave the hospital, and I had the car ready and I was waiting, and they were wheeling my wife out. While I was waiting there, I just like opened up my phone, which I hadn't really been looking at, and you guys were live, and I just went on. And I was like, guys, I'm talking to you live while Milo, my son, was born.
I remember that.
So Milo has a little bit of Omnidog in his history, in that
This
you guys
makes
were
me
like,
feel
that's great. That's not really what we're talking about, but good for you. And I was like, okay, cool. I got to go drive my wife. Bye.
I remember driving my daughter home, and well, of course, this was 1991, and I had a beat up old car that was I inherited from my mom and dad that I drove into the ground. But I drove about 5 miles an hour all the way home from that hospital, like I was carrying a bomb that was about to go off. I was like, don't anybody come close to me. I have my newborn daughter in the car. Don't mess with me.
Yeah,
So,
see,
yeah.
Milo was our second, so we'd already
Like,
gotten that out of the way. He was,
yeah.
we kind of we didn't even like strap him in. We just kind of taped him down, and just, if he bounced around, it's fine. Babies are made of rubber. They're good.
Spooey, your wife and daughter may not be invading today, or so you believe. Well, my daughter's not here, but my wife is. Elon says, thanks for introducing me to
13. Wow, that is a deep cut. So, Jess, have you ever read 13, the comic?
I have. I read one comic, and then I found out that it was like 15 volumes, even though they were thin, and I was like, I can't. I just can't. I enjoyed it. I thought it was cool, but I just wasn't ready to commit to buying 15 things. And I know there's a video game of it too, right?
That was actually my introduction to it. Let me grab it real quick so that people know what we're talking about.
Okay, so we're talking about 13, the comic. There's Josh Griuthus. Rick Ray's here. What it do, comic babies? A different view of Bunk's collection. Crazy.
So 13, and this was one I featured, I want to say, on like my Hidden Gems crime video a while ago, was a European crime comic that was excellent. And I was introduced to it from, you mentioned the video game. I happen to have it right here. This covers, I want to say it's like the first 6 volumes, and it is an amazing crime conspiracy story about basically an alternate Kennedy assassination administration, and it's all of, there's all these twists and turns and backstabs, and no one is who you think they are, and it is excellent. So I played that game, and I loved it. But the big thing that I loved, so when that came out, and it was, at this point, it was close to 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. It was a big multi-console release. It was, but I mean, this was, I want to say this was probably PS2, Xbox. I played it on PC right here, but unfortunately, joke's on me, because it's a CD-ROM. I don't have a CD-ROM in my entire house, so I can't play that. But it was that was like the first 6 volumes of story altogether, and then this is the first volume, and it's excellent. And the I mean, just look at this beautiful, beautiful
highlight
artwork.
you.
I mean, all of this, right? Let me see if I can find a splash, but it's just these beautiful, beautiful art style. It's an amnesiac protagonist, and just how did he get there and everything. And just, I cannot recommend this book highly enough. And I did in, I want to say it was my top 5 crime story hidden gems. I talked about 13. And it makes me really happy that somebody watched that and remembered, because I love that book, and I feel like like people kind of vaguely know about it, like you were saying, but it doesn't get talked about enough, and doesn't help that it's like 30 years old at this point.
Well, has it been collected into like one volume, or is it, how many volumes is it?
So part of the problem is localization. So Marvel had the rights when this came out, and this trade paperback is probably 20 years old, and it was part of this really small imprint you had. I can't even remember there, but it was It was an imprint they had that was bringing over European comics. They no longer, I mean, you can tell they're still using the white top there for how old this one is. They no longer have the rights. I believe somebody else started doing their own, just because, you know, like Conan with first with Marvel and Titan, everything like that. I don't know if now there are thicker volumes, but that's probably something I should look into.
Well, because you've got me way interested in it now. I think I probably just picked up a random volume in the middle of things and I didn't get out of it everything that you just said, which sounds amazing to me. I want to read that because my friend Tony in Sweden and Aiku are always all about jamming Euro comics down my throat as the superior format, et cetera, et cetera. So I say that jamming down my throat lovingly, sort of. But I do need to read more Euro comics.
Have you ever read The Killer? The French comic?
I have that up next as
one of my favorites.
After I get through with my Marvel read through that I'm going to do, I just did a DC one and I picked up a bunch. Speaking of Euro, Max from the Netherlands has been my kind of my he reads everything in singles and recommends stuff to me for Marvel. He's a Marvel guy, and so I take all my recommendations for him. He's like my reader and stuff, and he'll tell me what to read. And I've been discussing with Tony about The Killer, and I have 5 or 6 books from Europe that I want to read and review. The Killer is definitely on there. I have 3 books because I think I have The Killer 1 and 2. I believe that all got collected, I think, into a bigger volume. And then I have the latest
complete Killer, which is not even complete anymore because now they had a mini series, Enemy of the State, to coincide with the upcoming David Fincher film. You don't need to read Enemy of the State. It's not a bad story by any means. I enjoyed it, but it's not a necessary Killer story. Like the stuff that's collected in the complete Killer. And by the way, if you have the omnibus editions, which are not really omnibus, but it's, you know, thick trade paperbacks, they're missing the last of sort of the quote unquote true Killer stories. So
is that what I have then? The 2 volumes?
Let me show you what I'm talking about.
Thank you, Rodimus. I'm going to get to your challenge in just a sec.
So these are the 2 that,
right. That's what I have.
If you have these in volume 2, there's what feels like an ending. And honestly, it was a great place to end it. But there was one more story that came out that's not collected in there. I would not say you need to go and buy the 1 edition. What I would do is just go on Hoopla. They have the complete Killer there, and you can just, you know, go all the way to the end, or just, you know, read it on there. But
okay,
I don't even know how well you can find just that last trade paperback. So just read the omnibus; they're great, and then just read that last one digitally.
Okay, so The Killer on Hoopla, Killer Hoopla. Uncollected story, I'll put. Because I need to do a good video on Eurocomics, or boy, will I hear about it. As the leading Hispanic authority on comics on the internet, I am always challenged by Rodimus Prime Rib to pronounce Spanish, as he is from Puerto Rico. This one says, I see a word that I've never seen before. El gran omniperro y el majestuoso Bunkmasta B. Esto será tremendo show. How did I do, Rodimus?
Rodimus is a good dude. I actually I sent him my Absolute Preacher 2 months ago. So I can confirm he does live in Puerto Rico. He's not just putting on an act.
New spooies, twice the fun for the price of one. I'm literally ecstatic right now. Okay, good. I'm only
I think
half
this
an
is
hour
them talking
behind.
about Taylor. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I'm happy to be here. This always helps me feel better. Something wonky was going on with me yesterday. I can't explain. It's still there. There's just, I'm not in pain, but something uncomfortable is happening right below where Silk is. I want to represent Silk here. Yeah, it's, I don't know. It's just unsettled. So I'm hoping this takes my mind off it, and it did.
Good.
Um,
Yeah, because
so
when I saw that update, I was like, we definitely don't need to do this, but I'm glad to know that I'm helping, not sort of,
you
putting things.
are. Thank
Good.
you. Here's Joachim. Thank you for joining from
What's up,
Sweden.
Joaquin?
Here's Farhan from
Farhan.
Malaysia. Hi, Jess. You always be the best for me, and I love you for what you do. But I got to say, Ben, doxing you, is doing a great job with this channel. Definitely needs all the support and love from everyone here. You are a good guy. You're a good guy, Ben.
That
Nice.
is not doxing me at all. That is just Farhan saying he has been a day one. He has been with my channel since I didn't have even a tripod. And, I was just like shooting, holding it there. And no matter how bad, Farhan is just always the most positive person. Like the community is better for Farhan. I just have to say.
I can't say enough about Farhan. You are 100% right. He's awesome. I always love to hear from him. He's up at all hours of the night and day because he does sports. He's a sports reporter in Malaysia, which, of course, I found out through Farhan is the birthplace of the fabulous Michelle Yeoh. And let me say that I was highly disturbed to see she was posing with Pete Davidson at a picture. I was like, don't you dare, Pete. Forget it. Don't you dare. I was not into that picture. You can't live in Vermont and not be a skier. Is this true?
So I'm a bad Vermonter and a bad Coloradan. So when I was growing up, I skied and then I started snowboarding. And then when I got into high school, I was on the basketball team and I worked a part-time job in addition to going to school. And it just kind of kept getting on the back burner. And the entire decade I lived in Denver, I did not go skiing or snowboarding once. It was one of those things I kept saying, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. But I didn't. And at this point, it's been close to 20 years since I've gone. So I would not say that I am a skier or a snowboarder. I'm sorry, Elon. I'm sorry.
I just read a fact about Vermont. I wonder if I still have it up because it was, let's see. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Ba-dee. What is this? No. Oh, that's Gen Z slang terms. No.
No, you've got Jake to tell you about all of those.
I know. It was, it said it was funny, weird things to see in the US. And it started out with the Spam Museum in Minnesota. And as a huge lover of Spam, that's always been a place that I'm willing to leave the house and go visit. but it said there was, I think it might be in Burlington. And it was, if I'm not mistaken, are you familiar with the stack of filing cabinets that's a monument there?
No, I thought you were going to talk about our white whale Charlotte, because that's one of the like weird Vermont things that there is just this random. I guess years ago, Vermont had, and Vermont is landlocked. There was a white whale appearance, and now there's this random like whale tail that just sits there. But I lived in Burlington for a while, and I do not know the stack of filing cabinets you're talking about.
I feel like it was Burlington. And I'm sorry I didn't see that before we went to the Ben and Jerry's factory because I would have loved to gone by. But there's something in Burlington that is an amazing oddity that people come from all over to see. And I thought it was the stack of filing cabinets. I assume by the time that I get to him, James will have figured it out, what the weird art monument is in Vermont.
I've been seeing James all the while linking as you're mentioning things in here, so I'm excited for like 40 minutes from now when we catch up. He'll be like, "Oh yeah, here it is," and they'll be like, "Why are you showing us filing cabinets? That makes no sense."
Schwag, I'm not a fan of my mouth harp. I am kind of crushed. That chime. Oh, we're back to 20 minutes ago, for half an hour ago for sure. Just won a car. East Side, are you a basketball fan? Are you rooting for the
I
Nuggets?
am. So I am naturally a Celtics fan growing up out there.
Sure.
My Celtics lost. They deserve to lose. This is since the trade deadline. This has been one of my least favorite Celtics teams I've seen. So I am absolutely rooting for the Nuggets. I was going to tons and tons of Nuggets games when they were super cheap. I mean, I got lower bowl, so like the section right in front of the court, not front row seats, but the section, that's down on the floor for $11 a piece years ago. Because just
Wow.
no one was going to the game. So I have a great love of the Nuggets. I was going Jokic. There is no player I enjoy watching more because everything he does looks like an accident, but it all works. The Nuggets is such a fun team. I would love to see them win, and I think they will. I chose them in 5 going into the series. Are you watching the game? I know you're more baseball and football.
That's really all I am. I'm not a huge basketball fan, but I'm glad you're excited about it. I got these disturbing memes in my phone that I'm going to highlight myself, that Jake sent me.
Mm-hmm.
These are Bunkmasta memes.
That's my favorite right there. That's the best. The George Costanza. Bernie has a special place in my heart, being an original Vermonter.
Sure.
I love seeing myself there.
Whoops, I almost pulled that one out. Oh, there's a
that one gives me some feelings. Divine Bunkspiration. Yeah.
Are these all from the Discord chat?
I think he's put them elsewhere, but Jake basically had a week before going back to school, and when
sorry,
it's
sitting here rubbing my nose.
It all started when he was playing around with thumbnails for the big 100 show that I was going to be hosting, and he was like, "What do you think about this? And then he just sort of started running with them and just started anything that could be bunkified, he turned into a bunk meme, and he made some pretty good ones there.
You've got a subscriber there. That's good.
Aww, thanks.
Good. Right. All the young dudes. He was God. I'm not pulling. Oh, Mott the Hoople. Right. And it's a David Bowie song. Bunk taste in books are amazing, especially his indie ones. Right. I did a pre-interview with him through email.
Oh, don't give him spit. He's trying to pat himself on the back for Bang.
Okay. F you, Grief House, then.
Yeah.
Get it.
Yeah, get out of here with that.
What's wrong with you? Link to Max's song, please, James. Max says, thank you. Up, here it is. Max Appleman, new song, Detour Head. Max is super talented and super funny. If I feel well enough this week, because I can't count on Omar and Tyler to do a real toy show, I'm going to do one with James this week if he can.
I just have to say, while we're talking about that, that Sunday was Memorial Day weekend. We were hosting a big family thing, so I actually watched that stream Tuesday morning on my way to work, and just hearing Patty and Kelly and just the love and passion there. Like I was getting teary-eyed as I was like driving, and like, come on, man, pull it together. You can't walk out of work like that. And I just, I think I commented something, but please tell Patty, please tell Kelly, thank you for sharing that moment with us, because that was really special. And I know everyone who was watching kind of felt the same way.
Oh, you're going to make me get choked up. Thank you. I will tell them that. That was an amazing surprise that, I couldn't thank Omar and Tyler enough for setting that up, especially Omar, who I guess put it in the Discord or somewhere. He
has an official Omar channel, which basically goes out to everybody, and so everyone who was on there got to do that. And I'm sure he got flooded and everything like that. But yeah, that was special.
I appreciate that. That was super, super special.
What's up, Bar?
Oh, Bar's here? I'll get to her
Yeah,
in
well,
20
yeah, I was
minutes.
gonna say
Just a
in
sec.
40
Wait,
minutes we'll get there. But
let me get right down to the bottom and say hi to Bar. Well, I'll go upwards from there. That stream made me cry too. Thank you, Marquis. Also, the Descendants are a huge influence on Creed from the official Scott Stapp.
I mean, if it came from Scott Stapp, it's got to be true.
Well said, Ben. Thank you. Oh, here's where she showed up. Okay, Bar. Cycles. Yeah, watch out for Cycle. He's a crazy cyclist.
So I say, this as I would still say I'm a cyclist. I actually haven't ridden since I've moved here in 2019. I know I'm bad, but my Surly Crosscheck is still in the garage. I was a big cyclist when I lived in Boston. I was a big cyclist when I lived in Denver. Cleveland is not a bike-friendly city. And, we have tons of trails. We have a beautiful trail system called the Metro Park that goes around. We have great things. But as far as city riding, this is not a city that is meant for that. And so, if he is trying to ride in the city, there is a very good chance I could inadvertently run him off the road just with how this city is set up. So apologies in advance.
Yeah, they're trying to make this area bike friendly by putting in a lot of bike lanes everywhere. But it's not organically working. I would not ride a bike in this area anywhere. Yeah. It's not friendly to bikes at all, but they're trying. So I guess that means something, but I don't know. I'm not really a fan of trying to wedge in bike lanes on a 2-lane road where there's really no room for them. Peace and love to Cycle Cleveland. I hope you survive wherever you're going. But pity ma. Hi all, another beautiful day when I get to see a live stream with Omnidog. Thank you. Have you guys had a chance to read The Story of Superman from Glenn Greenberg magazine, 85 Years of Superman? That is being sent to me by Organic Price Book. Oh, there's the cat in my backyard. Organic Price Books code Omnidog for $2 off. Organic Price Books is sending me that book to review, so I will read it. 5% should have Omnidog ship it together. So I will read that.
I'm looking forward to the video because that one was not on my radar at all.
Yeah, I wasn't aware that this was in there, but I'm excited to read it. They're a little bit behind because the last shipment they got from PRH, I guess, everything was damaged, and PRH has had a problem with that ever since they took over. So I'm hoping that getting all these returns from big places, online retailers, getting them sent back all damaged, I'm hoping they're getting the message and starting to package their books better, because Organic Price Books, everything they got that particular week, like Superman Space Age and Superman 85 Years and all the Omnis and everything else, everything was damaged.
Here's the thing, though. With Organic Price Books, they're lost. It's bad for them. But that's our game, because they put all those damaged books on their whatnots where everything starts at $1. And so the more damages they have, the more books you get on your shelf. Like, especially if you look over at my Omni collection, I would say that there's a good, maybe about a third of the Omnis that I own have come from their damage sale.
So they don't actually send them back? They keep them?
They send the ones that they can back. But there are some, DC is pretty good about it, but PRH especially, there was a period where they just said, we will not accept returns. You just got to deal with it. And they would have these entire things being like, can't do anything with this. Or other ones, they had water damage back in December, and they were insurance write-offs. And so after that all got claimed, basically anything that wasn't moldy, they're like, well, this has already been written off, so you tell us what it's worth.
Wow. Yeah. Obviously I don't go on whatnot because I'm
No, you
technologically
should not go on
challenged.
Whatnot because it drains funds faster than Hot Toys does.
Burlington, Vermont has the tallest filing cabinet on earth. Okay, I
I
thought
told
so.
you we would get there in 40 minutes. We just hit the 40 mark.
I cheated and I went to the end because Bar showed up. I'm going to show Bar something that James super baited me on, and James is going to have to make it up to me. But yeah, it's a giant stack of all these filing cabinets, and it somehow doesn't get blown over. They actually moved it from one spot to another. It actually looks like I would have loved to have gone to see that had I known about it. I'm kind of bummed.
So
Okay,
I've got
you
to look
time
this up and
yourself
find out
out, Brave and the
where it is
Boys.
right now.
Yeah, check it out. Time yourself out for liking Pete Davidson, Brave and the Boys. That is unacceptable. What? And then
Okay, so that's right by that's right. Is that Battery Park that's by? Come on, get it. Oak Ledge Park. Okay. Yeah, I know all it's right by the south end. I have been I don't know how I missed this because I have been like everywhere around there, but I somehow missed the filing cabinet.
Well, we only went there for that's where Ben and Jerry's is, right?
So Ben and Jerry's is Waterbury. They have
okay.
like a thing in Burlington, but if you're talking about the factory itself,
That's where
the big
we went.
factory tour, that's Waterbury, Vermont.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Pete Davidson alert. That's ridiculous. No, wait. Do cycle Cleveland. Yep, was in Philly and got okay. Wait, okay. I'm doing this backwards, so I don't. Oh, Rick Ray saying Goiter 8 was so good. Oh, cycles all flipped out. How did you get it already? He was in Philly. Rick Ray was and got it from the Partners and Son store. Controversy in the chat. I love it. Partners and Son has got to be the greatest comic store. We have good friends that live in Philly. I'm happy to go there. When I go there next, which may be this like December to visit them, I will put out an alert so I can find out how I too can get caught up on Goiter. Whatever the hell that is.
It might be your new honey hole. You don't even need to go to Pittsburgh to see Taylor.
I don't, but I am planning to go back to see Taylor. Remsko's in the chat, a European who's nice enough not to jam his recommendations down my throat.
Honestly, I love when people do, because there are so many great Euro comics that I just are not on my radar. You know, I like to think that I'm a Euro fan, but really the only ones I ever hear about are the super big name ones. Like I've got Castle in the Sky over here. I've got the Grand Odalisque. I've got the ones we talked about. But I know that Euro comics are a huge hole in my reading. So I love when people are like, hey, read this.
Yeah, Castle in the Stars was something I started to review back in like 2018 or so. And
yeah, I think it was one of your books of the year.
You're right. It definitely was. And it's killing me that I think volumes 5, 6, and 7 have already been released in France. And, you know, paper shortage, pandemic, they just haven't made it here. So I'm extremely excited for those to come out.
I speak just enough French. I think I could probably read those, but I have looked and there is not a cheap way to get those over here, because I would be perfectly happy to read them in French and get them over here. And it's basically like buy it in France and have them ship them over. And like, I'm not willing to do that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. You speak enough French that there's a facet of Bunkmasta I didn't know about.
I speak French, I think, like you speak Spanish. I took a number of years back in middle school, high school, and college, and I like to think that I remember it. And every so often I'll whip out my old copy of L'Étranger and I'll flip through it and be like, yeah, I can read this still. Okay, all right. And
no, my Spanish was so far long ago compared to when your French was a long ago that I don't think I could read anything in Spanish, even though I used to be able to. Super Laugh Hard's really looking forward to my European top 10. Yeah, I can't wait to read it. Killer's a great read. Love the omnibus. Only complaint, it needed to be a hardcover. Oh, yeah, I know. Cromwell Stone's going to be in there. Don't worry, Super Laugh Hard. Cromwell Stone is 100% going to be a read. Yes. And tell me what else that you sent me. Super Laugh Hard was so kind. I've told everybody before. He sent me a gigantic package of books that included Daredevil by Zdarsky 1, which was ridiculously priced here. He sent that to me with a huge package of European hardcovers and stuff. So, Sonny, feel free to email me or tell me in the chat, whatever, what you think I should read besides Cromwell Stone. Peace and Love. I'm going to read it.
Super Laugh Hard also sent Very Fine Condition, a huge box there too. So again, much like James is kind of the secret to comic YouTubers, Super Laugh Hard is just keeping the European comics well represented on YouTube, and we are all better for it.
I just want to make sure I say that I got my package before Very Fine Condition. So
and it was a better package, no question about it, as was deserving. But
thank you.
I'm trying to give credit to Super Laugh Hard.
Super Laugh Hard. Okay, yeah, he's awesome. He's definitely awesome. Yeah. Just loves to steal people from other YouTube shows. That is true. I can't wait till the day he does a live stream with my girlfriend. That's happening. Don't think I haven't thought about that.
A Jess and Jess show would be amazing.
Yeah. Think of how we could confuse everybody. I plan on a video calling with Jess while my first child is born. Good.
Yeah, just I didn't quite get there early enough. We were leaving the hospital. Just a little FaceTime with Cycle Cleveland. I'd watch it.
The best is Salty Omnidog before you got Secret Invasion. I actually have that one. I can show you that one. Just a sec. Okay, hold on. Present. Wait. Share screen. Window. This one. Share. Now, where's the video? What the hell's going on? Is this only? Oh, I thought I had the video. This is me before I started flipping everybody off. That's a bummer. I thought I had the video.
Is this the new house? Was
this
that
is
from the new house? Okay.
That is, yeah. I don't. Damn it! I thought I had the video. Why do I have two? Okay, forget it. Yeah, but that was me. Yeah, Salty Omnidog before I got Secret Invasion. You send them to Gio, okay? I like the gif of Jordan. Yes, saying he enjoys your smoked pork or whatever it was.
His pulled pork. Yep.
The pulled pork, right?
It's delicious.
It's behind a paywall. I think you have to join.
I was going to say, yeah,
Patreon.
you can get the link. You just won't be able to see anything except a thing about how to match up your Patreon.
Right.
So yeah, the link is fine. Anyone can have the link. It won't do anything for you without that Patreon.
Right. Let's see. Here's your review of Bang, the Ballad of Tiger. Here's Aiku. It's all about the backlog, right? My backlog is 80% of my books.
Oh yeah. All of these are these might as well just be cereal boxes with with books around them.
Sweden says hi. Thank you. Yeah, he's great. I love Diedrich Bader. I've watched a lot of The Brave and Bold. And I love that guy. Brave and Bold. The Bold is currently my favorite animated thing on HBO. I have to make sure. Oh, I wonder if it got taken down. I think it did, but I have. Oh, I don't have my mic. I have all the DVDs of it, so I can watch those. Speaking of my mic, James, I need a new cord for this mic because my cord broke. Can you find out where
You
a
probably
cord
want to
is?
show the input on that.
Whoa, what are you asking? It is actually, I can show you the cord. The cord ripped out. What? I almost ripped my computer down with my headphones. It's okay. Where did that go? It was a clip that went onto that, and the clip went into this input, which I think is a pretty standard input now.
I was going to say, it looks like just USB-C.
Right. But this thing pulled out of the little clippy part that went in there.
Got to have the little clippy part.
Yeah. So I need a new cord, but then I went on and, to Amazon, and it may be cheaper for me to just get a new mic. I don't know. That seems wasteful to me, though. Okay, Jake says he'll help me with my audio cables. Okay, thank you, Jake. He just texted me. Elon with a question for you.
That is a Power Rangers mug. I gave blood today, so I'm having.
What?
Yeah, I'm a O negative. So
is that rare?
It's recessive, so it's in theory rare, but I think it's like 13% of the population has it, so it's like fairly. It's not super rare, but it means that I can give to everybody, and so I kind of feel like a jerk if I don't. So I gave blood, so I'm just making sure I'm having coffee well into the afternoon to make sure that I'm staying peppy and ready for this. But yes, this is a Green Ranger mug. I'm a big Power Rangers fan, and so
nice. Well, I support everybody that wants to donate blood. I couldn't do it. I'm ready to pass out just at the idea of it.
See, I do the double red blood cells, so that way I can just they take twice as much blood as they normally would, and then they run it through a centrifuge, and they. All right, guys. So this is just the bunk stream. Jess couldn't join us today, so now we are going to just talk about giving blood and what parts make up your blood. And here is my special guest, Cycle Cleveland, to tell us all about. Wow. Basically, by doing that, they can take twice as much red blood cells, and it means I can go twice as long without donating. So,
I don't want to continue this, but I have to. How often do you donate?
I go as often as I can. So every 16 weeks, if I'm doing double red, occasionally I have to do whole, and then it's every 8 weeks. But I'm mostly double red, and that's every 4 months or so.
The answer to this was going to be yes, Michael, but now I don't think I can do it without passing out for real. Yoicks.
Well, just make sure it's not scheduled 16 weeks from now. We'll be fine.
Okay. Okay, so I caught up, went back. So you told me that there were a whole ton of books that you like. So you like a lot of things in the mainstream. You like mainstream indie, but you also like European.
Yeah, I do. Like I said, most of what I'm reading these days, especially if I'm pulling up monthly, is going to be indie or smaller, and I go all the way down to self-published and whatnot. But that being said, I mean, we're all you can see the stack of Omnis there. I've been reading things. I try to keep versed in everything, so I'm a pretty across the range reader.
Yeah, that's what appealed to me. I really like the fact that you had a huge range of stuff that you really dug. Let me see if Bar is still in here. Yes, the 15th anniversary show was super special. Sniff. Thank you, Remsco. And Pity Ma, you sent me a lovely message. I really appreciated it. Thank you so much. Elon, yeah, I did. I did get a chance to read everyone's appreciation letters, and since some of them, well, a lot of them, I responded to all our personal friends because I had their emails, and then I responded to everybody that I could on Facebook. but I don't have, like, Arya, Arya, wrote a beautiful message, but I don't know how to get a hold of him and or her unless they show up in a chat. I would love to. Maybe I should just do a show where I read their messages and thank them. Would anybody watch that? Is that a good idea, or should I just reach
Call
out?
it a sequel and to the 15 year, and everyone's going to be there for it.
Oh, I could do it live. That's true. Ooh, what's up, Var? What are you doing here? Up. Okay, so they're gonna start going at it together. Jess, I got my Spider-Gwen statue. We're thinking about doing a midweek show that works with her schedule because she's got a lot of hours that she's putting in at work.
Yeah, just with the new job that she just got a little while ago.
Right. So, I want to see the Spider-Gwen statue, which reminds me.
And you can show her the Electra that she jumped off for before you got to show that off.
This is what James super baited me on, and now I can super bait Bar because there's a regular cover to this. James showed me. James is a regular follower of Omni Bros, and we previewed last Monday. We did a preview, and I like to see some of the single issues that get DCs that run together with their collected editions. And there was a regular version of this. Let me highlight this. This is a Pride special, DC Pride 2023.
Who's the artist on that?
Let's see. Good question.
I love the tarot setup there where they're doing it, and obviously it's just a beautifully composed image.
Yeah, cover by Mateus Manhanini. Foil variant cover by Jen Bartel.
Oh, I love Jen Bartel.
Yeah, she's great. But I got the regular version of this, and James showed me this, and I thought that'd be cool to have the day and night version of this tarot thing.
That is an awesome cover right there.
And it turns out it's a 1 in 50 variant. Thank you for nothing, James. I went to eBay and people are already asking. It's funny how the variant game works. I generally only get variants of Harley, and they're reasonable. Because I'm not going to. I love variants of Harley, so that's really the only variants I would collect. So I went on eBay. Okay, I need to get this variant. And people are already asking like $90 and $100, and I said, "Hey, I'm not paying that. Forget it." So I kept looking, and I found a comic shop in Portland. No, not Portland. Somewhere else. I should find out where I got it and highlight them, because I'll actually do an IG thing on this. I'm only like 2 months behind on IG. But they were selling it for like the $50 price, 1 in 50. Oh, I don't have my mic to lean into. 1 in 50.
Don't you mean they sponsored you and they sent it to you for free for the shout out?
Right. The shout out got me the free comic.
Yes. You just had to cover shipping. That's it. And it was so reasonable.
Yes, Bunk. I think I should have you on the show more often.
I'm a married man. I know how it works.
So I got it, and I was like, I bet they're going to cancel on me when they see these other prices, because people were buying it for $90 and $100. People not named Omnidog. And I thought, it's going to get canceled. They're going to throw it up for $200 or whatever once they see this. But I actually got it for what I consider a reasonable price. And I better stick it back once I take a picture of it, I'll stick it back in the cover protector. But it's weird how the variant thing works. Like, you'll see a 1 in 25 variant of something for $10, and then you'll see, like, I saw a Scarlet Witch 1 in 25, the Tarot Avengers or something I had never even seen or heard of. It was, people were paying $300 for it, and I don't know what makes a variant popular, unless it's Adam Hughes, because I try to collect a lot of his stuff. But the variant thing, I never know what is going to be popular, so I certainly wouldn't speculate on them because it's such a crapshoot. What
So
make that Scarlet Witch is a cool cover, but what makes it worth people wanting to pay $300 for it?
So I think the big thing has to do with how many copies are that shop ordering naturally.
Mm.
So, like for instance, one of my shops, shout out to Superscript out in Lakewood. If there's a variant coming out, I'll talk to the guys that are running there. They will look at how many copies they're planning on ordering for that book, and then basically whatever the extra is. So if it's a 1 in 25 and they are planning on ordering like 12 for their file customers and table, then it's like, in order to justify selling that, they need to sell that 1 in 25 for whatever the extra 13 copies they need to buy would be. And so if, on a title like Batman or something like that, where you're already buying 100, a 1 in 25 is going to be a whole lot cheaper than something like a Scarlet Witch book that, most shops are probably only, if Cycle, I'm sure you've been to Carol and John's. They're awesome. Superscript, they're a little bit newer to the game. Definitely worth checking out. But
way behind again. Okay.
So that's so like Batman, they're already like buying 100, so it's like the 1 in 25, like that's whatever, you can buy that like 4 times over with that. But for the other ones, either you need to be buying a whole bunch of copies that you don't have a home for just to get that variant, and then a lot of times like that, it's a kind of a surprise how popular it'll get. But because these shops haven't pre-ordered that many copies in advance of people knowing that, there's such a small supply and the demand is so high that you just get your supply, economic curve going up with that higher price.
Let me see if I can find that Scarlet Witch Tarot. Oh yeah, all right, here it is. Some of these are already okay. Yeah, here it is. Okay, I will share this. So that okay, yeah, eBay, I know you've made some improvements. Shut up. And I've gone to the solds, so I know it's selling for this too.
That's the number one tip whenever you're looking at eBay, is always see what it's actually selling for. Don't look at what the listings are.
Yeah. So
and add it to your watch list.
Yeah, here's what this is. Which is nice.
That's so cool.
It is cool.
Not $300 cool, but
well, it makes me want to get the book. Avengers, Defenders, Tarot. Whoa! I want to read this when it gets collected, but I'm not paying $300. And then there's of course slabbed versions of this that are priced at over $1,000.
Well, hey, if you sign up for PayPal credit, it's only $27.08.
That leads me to my next question. How do you find out ahead of time what to ask your LCS for?
So for me, a lot of times I don't really do social media at all.
No, me either.
Except to follow comic artists I like. And so a lot of times if they're doing a cover that's coming out, they will be like, hey, just did this cover for like Daniel Warren Johnson is one of my absolute favorites. There's a print right there. That he did.
We'll talk about that in a sec.
And he's really good about whenever he does a cover, he'll put that up. So if it's something I'm looking for, I can just be like, hey, looking for this. And then, if it's an open order, they'll be like, cool, add it to your file. If it's a ratio, they'll be like, hey, this is how much we'd have to charge you. Is that cool?
Okay.
Or things like previews when they're doing the updates for the book, or like Boom is really good about when they're announcing a new issue and they're giving their sort of own internal, they'll do a breakdown of here are the covers that are coming out for it. So like when Power Rangers 100 was coming out, it's a $10 book. I'm stupid. I bought that multiple times because I wanted to get multiple covers. And so I could be like, I want this cover. I want this cover. I want this cover.
That's not stupid. That's how I work too. So
no, it's very dumb. It's just like Power Rangers TMNT #2 issue #1. I bought that issue 7 times, and as I was doing it, I was like, this is really dumb.
But you still did it.
Of course I did it. I have an entire. I have so many Power Rangers variants that I had to expand from one entire diamond box to an overflow box. It's dumb, but I know it's dumb and I still do it.
I have some TMNT books that maybe I should just ship them to you, because I bought a bunch because I was into them for a while, and I could. Well, I'll talk to you afterwards,
Okay.
because I have a ton of TMNTs that I bought. You may already have them.
See, I'm Power Rangers. This was a crossover with Power Rangers.
Okay. So you're not that much TMNT then.
I grew up with them. I like the TMNT as much as the next person, but I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not this into the.
Okay. Double-sided. Wow.
Oh, yeah. And again, this is. There has to be an overflow box because there's already too much on here.
Okay, totally get it. So I mean, that Scarlet Witch cover is cool. It's by Nakayama, whose stuff I really like. Yeah. But I mean, I would have liked to have gotten it just for my collection. But I guess it's the scarcity of it, like as you say, because it's tarot. Or Avengers, Defenders, Tarot, some niche title,
right?
And so there must not be many of them around.
If it was the regular Avengers,
your mic isn't. I'm not picking up your voice. Oh, there you go.
I knocked it over when I was opening that box or picking up that box. Am I good? I'm coming through okay?
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. Yeah, so like if it was the regular Avengers title, there'd be probably enough orders that it would be in circulation enough. It's pretty common, but it's an awesome cover. That's a ratio on a book that shops just aren't ordering a lot of. So there's not a whole lot of it existing.
Okay, so that explains it exactly. So let's see, what 156. Okay, I'm a half an hour behind again. Wow, that happened fast. Newsweek, everything I get from Amazon are damaged. I think PRH is simply envious. I must live, and I think I do live really close to an Amazon hub. The Minister of Comics is genuinely jealous and perplexed at how I've never gotten a damaged book from Amazon.
I'm the same way, but I saw Spooey Sentient Deluxe that he got, and it was just like somebody just like picked it up and smashed the corner.
Jeez. And I know it always comes in a small box with like a bubble stuck in there and doesn't do any damage. I mean, doesn't protect it from any damage. Damaged books are always a gamble, but worth a shot if you're willing to pay higher. I miss those whatnot bot battles. Are you going
Rodimus is an old buddy of mine from there, and actually that's where I sent him the. I got an Absolute Preacher 2 from that I sent him.
Oh, now that is very nice of you. I like that. I like this little part of the community where we send each other stuff. That's really cool. I sent Bar a comic, a Pride Harley comic.
Yeah, if Rodimus had been a jerk and I'd say, I'd be like, well, the heck with him. But like Rodimus was always a cool dude. He was looking for it. I had an extra one. I was just like, hey man, you want it for what I paid for it? And then he was like, oh, cool. And then he shot me extra money for the shipping. And so it was just like, that's the community. That's what I love about this kind of. It's just everybody looking out for everyone, kind of like how you were looking out for people and got the name Omnidog because you were just like, hey guys, here's this Omni.
Right, especially when I went on that great Northwest tour in 2016 where I was taking requests as I was in honey holes, and I was finding the books actually that were crazy rare, and yeah, that was fun. I am not going to get Monster Size Hellboy, although I appreciate the fact that they're issuing that thing. That is really cool. I have the library editions, and I'm going to stick with them. I also I think I already have everything in library size, or I already have it collected. If I didn't have those library editions, yeah, that thing looks really, really cool. That Monster Size Hellboy.
I just had to check my phone real quick to see if my wife was giving me an update, and instead Jake sent me a text complaining that I'm using a Green Ranger mug and not the Brave and the Boys mug, which I do have. It just that was not the one that I pulled out. Sorry, Jake.
I didn't get a Brave and the Boys
Oh no, I
mug.
bought it. I
Oh,
wanted
I'm
to
not
support
sending him any
so.
money. Forget that.
Yeah, I bought a shirt, I bought a mug, and I was like, you know what, I want to do this for you.
Jake does say my TikTok of triple dipping got 49,000 views. I think I'm famous now. Oh, look at famous Jake thinking he's famous.
Now we're about to see him start doing viral dance trends and doing different spicy food challenges, and we'll be like, we remembered when before he sold out.
Remsco, I did actually I was one of the ones who pushed you to read Days of Sand. Don't apologize. That book was awesome. Yeah, the three of you teamed up on me. Remsco, Aiku, and my friend Tony from Sweden definitely pushed it. Don't apologize. I don't know why it took me so long to get that book, but it was an awesome book. So you're okay, Remsco. Just reading the comics backwards. If this was an old-fashioned country song, the dog would come back to life, the wife would return, and the pickup truck wouldn't need new tires.
And he'd sober up. Yeah, that's the old joke.
Right. Okay, somebody got a sunburn or something. Here's Rahul. Hey, thank you for joining. Bunk is the internet's authority on all things French. I know enough French to say in French that I can't speak French. Bunkmasta, if you want European comic recommendations. Okay.
Lay it on me. Lay it on. Everyone's looking for those.
I will definitely come to you, although Tony will... Tony's already watching this and composing his email to me. I can already feel the sarcasm from Sweden coming.
That's the best kind of sarcasm.
Right.
You have to pay extra for the Swedish sarcasm.
Oh, that's true. Thanks to just receiving that Zdarsky Volume 1 book, we're now getting an omnibus.
So excited to see that.
That's great. Right.
I've held off on reading it. I've heard nothing but great things, but I was like, at this point, I'm late enough for the game. I'm going to wait for the Omni, so I'm super excited.
That's great. From everything I've heard, it's awesome, and I look forward to getting... I think I need... it's really going to kill me if they do what they did with Gwenpool, where they stopped making the oversized hardcovers, and I got stuck with 2 trades with that.
I'm wondering about that because the Omni announcement is coming. Granted, it's only Volume 1, but it's coming so soon after they're going to stop their run. Now, of course, I know it's sometime in 2024 that the Omni is actually coming out, but I don't know. That's not a lot of lag time there.
No, it's not. I know Volume 4 has already been solicited and is coming out sometime soon this year. But then we're still going to need Volume 5 to finish it out. And I just have the worst feeling that it's going to get the Dr. Aphra, Gwenpool shafting of me. I'm going to be really unhappy. Super laugh hard. You do good work. He does. Elon is saying, look into the works of these people that I can't pronounce.
I'm printing screen.
Okay. Rick Ray, have you got it?
Yep. Also,
Rick Ray will second. Brecht Evan. If it's French, it's Brecht Evan. Panther is one of my all-time favorite comics.
Rick's got good opinions, except for Paper Girls. I generally really like what Rick has to say, except Rick is so wrong about Paper Girls.
Same. He was bad-mouthing something else I really liked. I can't remember what it was. Usually he is really reliable on everything. Hey, Cage. Nice to have you here. Talking about cycling. Here's Marcelo. Good to see you. Okay.
Is that Marcelo?
Yes, I am. That's typical me.
Wouldn't be a jet. Come on, guys. Yeah, this is what you come for. Technical difficulties, me dropping the mic, mouth harp, and then getting 40 minutes behind on the comments. Don't pretend like you're looking for anything besides that.
Yeah, you were one of the ones that initially jammed me up and made popular how technologically challenged I am.
Oh, my favorites were always where it would start getting behind and everyone would just start being like, okay, all right, guys, what is the, what's delaying it this time? And my favorite was one time it was cereal, and we were like, and that was just like for 30 minutes, it just became like Cereal Cast. That was.
Was I eating it or just talking about it?
There was something about you were looking for a certain kind of cereal, and then like it got there, and then we all just like started talking about our favorite cereals and what cereals people liked, and you talked about your old show you had where your public access where you had the guy on to talk about cereal. Yeah, and it was like, this is the cereal stream now.
Okay, I will catch up and then go backwards again. Just like if you play Revolution 9 on the White Album, you go backwards on that and it says, "Turn me on, dead man."
Turn me on, dead man. Yeah.
Jess owes anyone a mask. It's me. Do you have a mouth harp as well? Do you at least have a mask?
I do not have a mask. Well, no, I don't think I own a single mask anymore. I could borrow some of my daughter. She's got a bunch of felt superhero ones, but I can go. That's as close as I can get.
I can't believe Jess hasn't said everyone in the comics community Frost Top. That would be 8,000 bottles of Frost Top I'd need to send out. Ilan, I apologize. You're right, though. It's a failing of mine. Yes, I plan on getting Devil's Reign omnibus, and then I'm getting, what's that other omnibus of an event? Avengers.
The Avengers, X-Men, Eternals.
Day. Yeah. I heard that's awesome, so I'll definitely get that.
The only thing I heard with that is because Kieran Gillen is kind of the architect behind that. If you are not reading Eternals, you're going to be super, super lost. So that's one of those, like, if you want to try and read that, you got to read Eternals first and then go in it. Like with X-Men, it's just like, do you know what happened on Krakoa? Cool, you're good.
Yeah.
Avengers, like, do you know what Avengers are? Cool, you're good. Eternals, oh boy, you got some reading to do on Eternals.
Do you know if that's been collected in any form? Is Eternals?
I know that the first few trades have come out. I wouldn't be surprised if it's on Hoopla. I know, for like at least the first 2 volumes.
Okay, well, I'll get those trades because I like getting those thin trades. Jaggernaut's here. What up, Jess? I got to get rid of my Zdarsky DD OHCs now. Peace and love. No, I'm holding out for the 5th. Yeah, this is what worries me. Marvel not releasing a lot of OHC anymore. That's my favorite format, is the Marvel OHC, because it's so easy to read. And 1,500 page omnis, that's fine. I can read those too, but I love the OHC. And so this is bad news for me that they're not releasing a lot.
That's why I'm not getting the Hellboy monster size, just because it's such a cool idea in practice, but it seems terrible to read. Everyone has talked about how Big Damn Sin City looks great on a shelf, terrible to read, and I'm figuring that'll probably be the same way. So
I have Big Damn Sin City, and it is still sealed and sitting on my shelf because it's very intimidating. Yeah. Spooey says, "Hey, I want a book from both Jess and Bunk. Oh, an issue 1 of Salvador, a comic that exists in our reality." What are we talking about there?
So, I promised people on the Near Mint Condition Discord as a joke a 10 subscriber giveaway as this really stupid thing. And then I just like stopped making videos for almost a year. And when Omar basically said, "Hey, I'm going to feature you on the year-end video," I was like, I guess I got to do that again. So I turned it into a 100 subscriber giveaway where I'll give 10 people things. And because it was such a stupid giveaway, I was like, I'm going to give you the stupidest books from my collection. And so I went through a lot of my old single issues, and I was like, oh, this book looks terrible. And so I gave everybody one really, really stupid book with some type of trade paperback. And Spooey got one of the best ones, which was this book called Salvador. That was really early Boom, that I think they thought was going to be this really great and like groundbreaking thing, and really what it was is just this knockoff Silver Surfer. It's this wordless comic and like very early like 3D generated art where he's floating around on a feather, and then he falls down and there's like a temple to him, and they made this big deal of it. Nothing ever happened. It was not that good, and I gave it to Spooey, so he can go to www.hewhosaves.com, which is no longer a link, but they were advertising that on the cover. It was supposed to be a big deal, and it very much was not.
What year was this? I haven't heard of this comic.
You shouldn't. It's not good. So that was really early Boom. Like when Mark Waid was on and he was like trying to like jumpstart Boom. I want to say that was probably like 2007 or so.
Oh, okay. Oh, I can see how I didn't hear it of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not worth.
There's a person at my front door. We just got a Ring doorbell. Let's see who this person is.
Are they delivering you things?
Sometimes Amazon does on Sundays. I don't see anybody at my front door. I think Ring is messing with me. Ring is haunted.
Either that or there was somebody, but then they fled and they're like, "Ooh, Casa the Omnidog. I don't want any of that."
Okay, so I'm going backwards. Oh, Jake, I'm so sorry. Riley taught me Slap years ago. He taught me Slap. It's a banger. And that other B that I have trouble remembering. It's a banger, not it bops.
Well, music could be a bop.
Right. Now I did learn that. I might have learned that from Jake. He has taught me Riz and stuff. I have a whole list of stuff he's taught me. Mid, that's a big one. It's a banger. I'll have to think about that. I always forget what it is. Oh, here's Chris. Chris is a great viewer. Definitely getting the Monster-Sized Hellboy, which I heard about here first with Omnidog. Breaking news, not from very fine condition.
Who is that guy? Never even heard of him. I get all of my breaking news from Jess Bragg.
That is awesome. Thank you for doxing me, saying my real name out loud. Ryan's here. Ryan's great. When Jess uses the word slaps, he becomes Omnidog. Right. Still waiting for Jess to send me something. Keep waiting, buddy. Keep waiting. Someone should do a video where they buy the same book from each website to compare. That's a dumb idea. I would never do that.
Yeah, if anyone ever did that, oh man, and then had 6 extra copies of the Batman Who Laughs deluxe edition to give away, man.
What an idea for a video. That would have gone straight into the bin for me. Tarot probably not a huge sell, so it's low print, right? Oh, and we're losing Mr. Tex, who's great, but I have to go. Peace and love. Thank you, Mr. Tex. He was
Later, Mr. Tex.
That was a 221. Okay, I'm still 15 minutes behind.
Yeah, he'll watch it on the replay. He'll find out.
Does Superscript have Blood of the Virgin? I've heard of this comic from Cycle.
See, from Cycle, I would not be surprised if he's actually, wondering, are they having virgin sacrifices, and can you buy the blood there? Cycle's into some weird things, so I'm not sure about either of them, and I'm afraid to ask. They're usually pretty good about their indie books, though. Like they're
James sent this to her. Sorry, I'm skipping.
No, you.
James sent this one to her. James, really? Okay. What about Blood of Virgins and Cycle's weird tendencies?
Going back to Superscript, the comic shop in Lakewood, they're really good about stocking indie books. My main shop, Carol and John's, which is like the big shop in Cleveland, they are kind of notorious for like buying as many for their file customers after issue 1, and that's it. They hate back issues.
Oh.
So if you are not subscribed to a book before FOC, like you're probably not getting it. Whereas in Superscript, like they want to make sure that they've got a mix of everything in there. So they carry a lot of indies.
Here's actually a good question. Which book has been chosen for the next read with Larry? When's the stream about iZombie? Been able to find it on the Kindle Unlimited. I can actually answer those questions. I put up in today's community tab after announcing the Bunkmasta video that Larry and I are interested in finding the Book of the Month Club book that is already in people's collections. We don't want to always make people have to go out and buy the book. And I think Mr. Awesome already listed like 5 really good books that are probably already in people's collections that we can review. So if you go to my community tab, Elon, you can see what's been recommended, and you can suggest something yourself that you think is book club worthy that you already own. The stream for iZombie is next Saturday, so I have a week to read that, starting right after this stream, reread it because I loved it when I read it. And it's going to be on Kristen's channel. So I will put out something Friday and Saturday with a link to her channel. We're switching, and I will be on the Comic Slayers channel at 1:00 next Saturday. Though that answers your questions. Thank you very much for asking. I've never been to Superscript, so you're really not a Clevelander.
Technically, it's Lakewood, so you
and
pass.
That reminds me, the country club was Westwood.
Okay,
great country club.
I'm not a golfer at all, so I'm. My aunt and or my wife's aunt and uncle, who are in Bay Village, I believe they both. So they would have been right there with you.
Belonging to Westwood.
They might be. Their son got married at the Rocky River Yacht Club, so it's very much
fancy.
As someone who was there at that wedding, I assure you, it is not that fancy. There are not yachts that are going out on the Rocky River. That was the name of it. But yeah, they're cycle club or the country club people.
Jake is ready for his Usagio read through with Bunk. Is that the Italian version of Usagi?
Hey, it's me, Usagio. I'm a rabbit. So right over there is my still sealed Usagi box set. And when Jake told me that he ordered that, I was like, I have Usagi on my shelf. It's in like the backdrop of all of my videos, and I have never actually read it yet. So I told him that when he got it, I would do a read through with him. So
nice.
I'm excited for that.
Just if you want a great Superman variant cover, look at Superman Lost by Lee Weeks. I love that cover. I also bought it. And wait, I'm still trying to figure out. I'm still trying to figure out if James actually sent this ridiculously expensive version to Bar.
I would not put it past him. By the way, my Comic Son, call me Top Gun 45, just showed up in the chat.
Oh, he did.
Hey, Comic Son, do your homework.
What? Where? Whoa! I am way far behind. Okay.
Oh yeah, I can only see the very bottom right there, but.
You're his comic dad?
Yeah,
That's sweet.
Yeah, I comic adopted him. He was another one that I sent stupid books to for that. But yeah, he's just about. I don't think it's. I'm doing anything I'm not supposed to by saying he's just starting college. He's working on his own comic stuff, and he posted his very first published comics piece. If you go over to Comics Are Dope, he wrote a review on World Tree #1, which everybody go check it out.
Wait, Call Me Top Gun's working on World Tree?
No. He wrote a review on it that got posted at Comics Are Dope.
Okay, that's formerly named BJ Kicks, right?
That's the BJ Kicks site. So
right.
Yep, he's got the YouTube channel. He launched the website first, and Call Me Top Gun got a review on there.
Speaking of adoption, I am the adopted grandfather of BJ Kick's incredibly cute daughter named Squeak.
Squeak, yeah.
How do you not fall in love with a little girl named Squeak? So, yeah, I adopted her. It wasn't Westwood Death Rattle. Very close, though. It's Bushwood. Bushwood. Very close, though.
I only ever saw Caddyshack once when I was at UVM. It was they were showing it at the college thing, and I was like, "How did I go this long without seeing it?" And then I never saw it again.
I have seen that at least 700 times.
That's the proper amount of time to see it.
Yeah,
I'm the aberration here.
Right. Cycle, don't be putting up. Now I'm getting things that Cycle's putting on my community tab. No one wants to read Dark Knight Strikes Again. Cut it out. Okay, Sweet Mimosa, that's a good one. She and or he is recommending Reckless. Here's the Comic Slayers channel. Yeah. Thank you. No, that's not happening because I don't own it. Omnidog's June Book Club community page. Thank you, James.
And of course, we're getting to it now, but at the time, he was right there on it.
Right. Yeah. No, this happened 20 minutes ago. Yeah. 2:41. Yeah, it happened 7 minutes ago. Keeping Two is already in every discerning collection. Well,
it's
my
also
collection
on Hoopla.
sucks. Oh, it is?
It's on Hoopla. So, yep.
Oh, okay. I will read it on Hoopla. Although I have to read iZombie first. Oh, you're shipping Bar the daytime version. Okay, that's cool. That's cool because that's a cool cover.
Bar's got that new job. She's got that money. She can buy herself the nighttime one.
Yeah. Yeah, Bar. What are you talking about? What's going on here? Jess, James sent her the link. He's not that nice. Oh, okay. Blood of the Virgin is the Sammy Harkham book that recently came out. Okay.
I didn't know Sammy Hagar wrote a book. That's very cool.
That's what Scott Stapp is saying.
All right. We're on the same page, Scott.
Back when I was imbibing, I was I probably shouldn't even say this because it makes me feel sick to my stomach, but I was drinking Sammy Hagar's tequila. That was one of my drinks of choice back before I got sober.
I think I think Guy Fieri is repping that now. So
okay.
So do with that info what you will.
Yeah,
I don't know if that makes you feel better or worse about it.
It makes me want to throw up right now. I'm just tuning in for the slang lessons.
I am the wrong stream to be what?
Yeah, I have mine. I had to have mine written down. I have them in here under slang. Drip would be the outfit. Riz is like style.
Yeah, Riz is just short for charisma. So just whenever you would say someone has charisma, they have Riz. That's something I found out.
Oh, okay. All right. That makes sense. Jess or Bunk, pitch me why I need the Scumbag Deluxe Edition that's coming out soon. I haven't read it.
You don't. It is not one of the better Remender versions.
Oh, wow.
We've seen that's its same story. I mean, honestly, it's a Remenderized version, almost a little bit of Irredeemable, where it's like the worst person in the world is the most powerful person, and it's Remender being unrestrained Remender. It's going to be a beautiful edition of a book. It's going to be his standard library size one, but it's not one you need.
Wow. Okay. Do. That would be my nightmare. I'm purposely not telling him my new address. Oh, here's Lars from Norway, an American publisher that has released European comics in English is NBM Publishing for nearly 40 years. That's where I have all my NBM was who was putting out the Obscure Cities books, like Leaning Girl and Tower. The Tower, was it the Tower of Sand, or am I mixing that up with Days of Sand? The Tower. Anyway, the Obscure Cities books are getting put out now by somebody else. I would love to review those, but I think more need to come out before I can do a real review. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anybody in the anybody European in the chat about the Obscure Cities ones? That's a series that I really want to read.
See, I'm not familiar with NBM, but I love, and I don't know how active it is anymore, but Archaea. So they're an imprint of Boom. They were great for bringing European comics on over here and doing a lot of sort of smaller niche titles like Mouse Guard. If you guys remember Mouse Guard, that was through Archaea. They've done a lot. That was, I don't know that it was necessarily like the prestige end of Boom for a while, but they were doing a lot of that translation, kind of smaller books. So I loved what they were doing.
And you're saying that like it's in the past tense. Are they not in any longer?
I think Boom has discontinued the Archaea line. I don't think that imprint is still there. But I could be wrong about that. I think the newest Archaea book I have, I'm trying to look at my Boom section. I don't know. I don't think they're actively keeping up with it, at least like they did, which is a shame.
Yeah, because I am excited to read The Killer. Razor's here and asks, have you read The Good Asian, Jess? Is it good? We'll find out, because I made a very large order of it, of books, and Good Asian Deluxe was in there. I've heard great things about it. I think it's Good Asian 1936. So I'm excited to read that because I've heard a lot of good things about it.
Now, did you put in that really big order at Organic Price Books where you can use the code Omnidog to save $2 off your order of 2 books or less, or Omnidog Ship It Together to save 5% off your order? Because that's where I would have done it.
Yeah. And so look at you being the pitch man. Thank you, buddy.
You're
a natural.
You know I got you.
Totally.
Good Asian was good. I liked it. Okay. I was pulling it in singles. It's cool that they expanded. I'm hoping they keep some of the back matter that was in there in the deluxe edition, because that was one where they had a lot of essays going in. I think it lost a little steam there at the end, and it wasn't necessarily a mystery that allowed you to kind of like guess along the way. It was one that is kind of a little bit of an exposition dump at the end, but I really enjoyed kind of the world that they built there and what they had going, and especially those first, call it 6 or 7 issues. Excellent.
Let's talk about a book that I've been meaning to own for years that the Minister of Comics first told me about. And then, excuse me, in our interview email, you recommended Fell by Warren Ellis.
Absolutely.
Which is the one Warren Ellis book that I probably don't own. So I went on eBay and I got it for $5. It was $5 or best offer. And I thought, this guy wants to get rid of it really badly. So I got it for $3. But I guess I'm not getting, if it's collected, I'm not getting what was really cool about it in the 6 issues that it came out in.
So right? it's the first 8.
8. Okay.
Let me grab my art.
Don't hurt your mic. Your art.
So so this is Fell. This is the first book that we're talking about here. I did a video on this recently, so I reread this. It's one of, I'm going to take that off, and hopefully that makes it a little bit easier to see. Nope, not at all. But this is it's a weird crime story that I think the easiest way to talk about it is it's basically Warren Ellis going through the news and finding Florida Man stories, the kind of thing that we would talk about as Florida Man now, with, you know, like Florida Man wrestles and beats up a gator, later legally marries her. Like those kind of weird stories, and then turning them into like an actual detective case. And it's set in this feral city of Snowtown, where just it's basically the worst version of Gotham City that you can imagine. And it's about this this cop or detective, Richard Fell, who came from over the bridge. Something happened in his past that we don't know about that caused him to basically get exiled. Them, you know, you messed up. You got to spend a year or 2 over in Snowtime. You aren't welcome back here. And It is amazing. It's grotesque. It's got art by my buddy Ben Temple Smith, which just adds to kind of the grotesquerie. And one of the really cool things about it was that at the time, Warren, when he was doing this, he thought comics were getting too expensive. And this is when the big push was going from, unfortunately, it's all 9-panel grid. So there's not really any like super cool pages that you can show off. But when comics were pushing to $3 and he was bemoaning the fact that comics aren't really affordable for people anymore, because this was when it was going from $2.50 to $3, he made it his mission to put out a great comic book for a cover price of $2. And the way that he did that is that every issue was 16 pages of actual comic content and then 6 pages of back matter where he wrote essays and things like that. And the way that he kind of made it so that there was as much content as a full issue was that almost everything is a 9-panel grid, and he really put it out there. But it's Warren Ellis doing weird, funny Warren Ellis stuff, building this mystery around it, and it is still one of my absolute favorite books that has come out. And as Jess was saying, unfortunately, the trade only has the first 8 issues. It didn't collect issue 9, but and it also doesn't have the back matter. So I have the individual issues. And then Ben, I have the whole series that Ben did sketches on them for me. And so if you get to the end of it, in the back matter of the individual issues,
it's actually called back matter.
Yeah, much like with Criminal, the way that Ed Brubaker, had selected either recommendations or crime, different things. So you can see parts of scripts. You can see in every issue he talks about the news story where he found the weird stories that inspired what you just read. These, if you can find the individual issues, and they shouldn't be that hard to find. I start with the trade. The trade gives you the core comic, but if you have the ability, the back matter is definitely worth reading in the same way that the Criminal back matter is worth reading for those individual issues.
Cool. This is a book that we were going to talk about, and I meant to read it yesterday, but then I started feeling terrible, and I didn't get to read Do a Powerbomb. That's one of the few Daniel Warren Johnson books that I haven't read. I know I can read it on Hoopla, and I was going to in preparation for this show, but then I started feeling terrible, so I didn't get a chance to read it, but I do want to read it. He doesn't need to bait me.
Yeah.
I know that I need to read this book.
You know that you're going to end up reading it, so I don't really need to talk much about it. But this series right here, newest series by Daniel Warren Johnson, Do a Powerbomb. I'm going to show off issue 3 so that way you can see awesome wrestling and there's no spoilers, because the first 2, if I show you that, it's probably going to be spoiled a little bit. But it's the classic Daniel Warren Johnson equation of take a theme that he loves that maybe you don't necessarily love, so you're like, I don't know if that's going to be something I like, whether it's heavy metal, whether it's wrestling in this, and then turn it into an amazing action-packed story of just high impact. I mean, I think nobody in comics right now is drawing action scenes as impactful as Daniel Warren Johnson. I mean, just look at this orangutan punching Cobra Sun right there. Look at that. You can feel the movement. You can feel the impact that's going on right there.
Wow.
It's an amazing story. And the biggest thing is, on top of these amazing action sequences is tons and tons of heart. It's a family story. It's an emotionally gripping story. Issue 7, when you get to the end of it, you're gonna feel a little verklempt in there. You're gonna get that
good
feeling.
Word.
And if you'll indulge me,
yes, I will. This is the part where I indulge the bunk.
The bunk is being indulged.
Yeah, that's the name of our new show. Indulge the bunk.
Trust me, I would be happy to have a show where it's just like, well, if you'll indulge me, let me do this thing that I already want to do. I bought from Daniel Warren Johnson
Oh,
this this art print that he did of all the characters that show up there, and I also got a special edition where he actually drew on a wrestlerized version of Murph.
Murder
So
Falcon.
yeah, so he for this one, Murph, you'll notice on this one in the same,
Right.
that's just
Okay.
empty space. So he drew on, so that's actually him drawing. He drew me Murph as a wrestler that he just incorporated into the actual print.
Holy
So
smoke.
yeah.
Where and how did this happen?
So I know his art rep Felix a little bit. So Felix Comic Art Group, I think
Wait,
right
well,
now.
back up. How do you have these connections? How do you know his rep? How do you get to know his rep?
The original art scene, and especially with the advent of the internet, is surprisingly accessible. It just kind of like, one person, another person, another person, and just you get to know a lot of people. So like I got to be on at the beginning of the year, Felix hosted this like very hush hush stream where a ton of artists that he represented came on and showed different images of things that they were working with, and it was like this very like secret, like nobody can know about this. So did you ever read Little Bird?
Little Bird is still in my collection. It is probably the one book that was widely popular that I read, and I said, this book is over my head. I don't get it. I don't understand. It's popular for a reason. Okay. I didn't root beer it or anything. It wasn't that I didn't like it. It wasn't like Nameless by Grant Morrison, where it was purposely over my head and I got mad at it. I was like, okay, I'm going to keep this and revisit it because I'm not getting it. And it's a lot of people are getting it and digging it. So I still have it and I'm going to revisit it. But that's where I am with Little Bird.
If for nothing else, did you like Ian Bertram's artwork though?
Oh, I thought it was beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't quite go so far as you, but I definitely read it more for the art. There was the story didn't always click with me of this, grand rebellion against a religious state and everything that was going there. I liked it, and I'll certainly be looking
at. There was a grand rebellion against a religious state. Okay, that helps.
Yeah, I mean
is that the
whole
theme?
Yeah, that's the book. That's the plot.
Okay, I didn't even pick up on that.
It might be worth another read for you. But anyway, so Ian Bertram is one of the guys, the artist that Felix has, and so they were showing off some artwork there. But anyway, in conjunction with Felix Art Group, Daniel Warren Johnson, all of his original art goes through him, and he did this really cool art print project, which is how that one that you can see up there, which is it's tough to see from here, but that's a print series that he did of all original characters. So it's got guys from Extremity, Murder Falcon, Space Mullet, and actually it is the first printed appearance of the characters from Do a Powerbomb. And he also sketched a little Beta Ray Bill head on that for me. So
wow.
I can show that one off, but it is it is in a frame, so it's going to be very glary. But let's see.
Okay, yeah, and let me see if I can get to some comments. Judgment Day, yeah, we talked about it. Everybody's front. Okay. Wow. Now where's the Beta Ray Bill one? Oh, you're already putting it back up. Okay, well, that was a quick look.
So yeah,
that is cool.
I love Daniel Warren Johnson. I'll buy anything he does, including. Did I already put them away? Looks like I did. I own some Magic cards, and I own them because Daniel Warren Johnson did the art for a few Magic cards, and so just like at this point, anything that Daniel Warren Johnson does, like I'm just gonna buy it. It's an auto buy for me.
I love your passion. That's awesome. Yeah. Sweet mimosa. Yeah. Telling sweet mimosa. No, boss. That's my word. And I already know bass. So that wasn't it. Wait, I'll go to the end and come back. Whoa, I am way far behind. Yeah, I totally missed the plot.
Yeah, that's like surface level on Little Bird is just literally it's a rebellion against an oppressive religious state. That's what the book is about.
Do you have those Daniel Warren Johnson Star Wars zines? Oh yeah, he sells those only at cons, right?
I have read Green Leader, which is one of those. I have not purchased them. DWJ is someone I have not met in person yet. I say yet. I'm going to make sure that I do at some point. But no, I do not own those. What? Come on. That's right. I'm flexing on you, Rodimus. I'm going to keep doing that all stream.
Oh, Cycle says the Felix Art live streams are where it's at sometimes. Oh, Sweet Mimosa loves Little Bird. Here's Felix. Wow. Here's Felix comic art.
Yeah, it's Daniel Warren Johnson art drops at this point. It's like you have to be there within seconds of the art going live because just like everybody is jumping on those right there. He is just that big of a name.
Bunkmasta B and Comics, Daniel Warren Johnson original art unboxing. Whoa. This is a rabbit hole I cannot afford to go down.
Don't. It's not something that you should start with. It's one of those things that you buy one piece because like, oh, look at this. It's like $50, whatever. That's nothing. And then you think I'll have one nice piece in my collection and I'll be happy with it. And you won't. I mean, just look, we're collectors. You will never start with just one thing and leave it there. So just never start. And then you don't need to stop.
Yeah. I bought one in my mania back in 2021. I was manically buying stuff, about 70% that I am now selling off. But I bought the original art to a Harley Quinn cover. And I'm blanking on her name. She's from Italy. She's got a really big following now. She's a very sweet person. What was the name of the store that I got it from? Trinity Comics. Zoe, I'm going to butcher her last name. She's Italian. It's like Lacchei. I bought the original art and it took me a long time to pay it off. And I can pull that out. My portfolio is right here. And I have an Adam Hughes print that he only did 100 of Magic. But I have that Zoe Lacchei. My Italian is, I don't even know Italian.
It's fun. You're not the internet's leading Italian comic authority, so don't worry.
That's right.
You're fine.
So that's the original art I have, and it's really boss. I really dig it, but that's it. I can't. I mean, I dig your passion, and I'm glad you can do it, but I'm also not going to follow you down that rabbit hole because
no, I would suggest that everyone stay far away from it because again, you'll just start with one and it's never gonna be just one.
Yeah, but I totally get it. I think maybe we could do a show where I show that and my Adam Hughes print and you can show your original art. That might be an interesting show for people because I think a lot of people are interested in original pieces or prints like you have that are really cool.
Wouldn't that just be spreading? Like I'm telling people to do the opposite. Like don't follow this. don't look at these like that Michael Lark back there. No, don't do it. It's not something you want to start.
Ben Templesmith sounds like a nice person. Bunk, do you have any Ben Temp? You talk about like your buddies with him.
Yeah.
Do you have?
Yeah, Ben's a buddy. So this portfolio here is almost entirely just Ben Temple Smith originals.
Whoa. Okay, yeah, we got to do a show so you can properly show that off.
But yeah, Ben is, if you guys don't know Ben Temple Smith, he was the artist behind books like 30 Days of Night, and he is one of just the most interesting people in all of comics. And it just, like, anyone who's ever had a conversation with Ben Temple Smith, like, you remember that. And it's yeah, he's yep, everybody punch your bingo card for Bunk. Yeah, I mentioned Power Rangers, we talked about Ben Temple Smith. Yep.
And make sure you hit the like button too, please.
Oh yeah.
Okay, wait, I'm going backwards. I still don't think goiter is real. Yeah, I'm not sure it is either. Cycle talks about it a lot, but I gave him my address and I still haven't gotten any packages from him. I really enjoyed Fell.
Oh, so happy. I don't know anyone who read Fell and didn't love it. It's one of those things that it's like, if you know about Fell and if you read Fell, everyone still remembers Fell to this day.
Okay, wait. Jake said something. Oh, I'm still waiting on goiter. Jake, I could send multiples to Jess if he wants to spread the love and do a potential video review. I gave you my address like 2 months ago. I'm going to my mailbox every day saying, Cycle, where is it? I'm like Charlie Brown opening the mailbox on Valentine's Day, and it's empty. So Cycle, send me the stuff that you want to send me. Any copies of goiter or Florida Man Marries the Gator or whatever? Yeah, okay, go ahead, send it to me. I'll do a review of whatever you send me.
Are we sure that he's not planning on sending it to Jake's girlfriend, Jess?
Well, that's a possibility. He did say it could be a typo. He wants to spread the love. Maybe he meant to say she. It is possible.
I mean, it's just one letter difference. Maybe you just forgot the S.
Rick Ray, I ordered multiples of the goiter reissues. I could hook you up. Hook me up. I want to see what goiter is. All you talk about is goiter. I have to see this.
I think you are maybe the first person who's ever said, I want to see what goiter is, especially after getting visibly sick on a stream when talking about blood.
Oh my gosh. Don't bring that up again. Oh, I finally got to the point, because I've had so much blood drawn for all my various illnesses, that I don't pass out when I have sample taken, but to have it oh no, okay, stop. I can't even go there. Holy guacamole. Okay, yes, The Walls of Samers, I have that. Fever Dreams in Ermengarde, I have that. And The Tower are the first in the series Obscured Cities. I think there are at least 11 volumes, and they are reprinting them, so those are the first ones. I have those, so I could read those. And The Tower, but where does Leaning Girl? I think Leaning Girl is like right after Tower, and I feel like they might be hooked in together. I'm gonna do. I'll look at who's publishing it now, because if you go to their page, it gets updated like once a year of what they're able to put out. They're coming out slowly, but they are coming out, which is great.
I don't know any of that, but I screenshotted it for later.
Okay, good. I can actually grab them and show them to you at some point. Chris, welcome. I read the Obscure Cities and they're standalone. Okay, that's good to know. But I do feel like Leaning Girl has something to do with The Tower. In 20 minutes, I'll find out when it's answered at the bottom of the chat.
Now, that profile picture, that's from the Variants, which you loved, right?
Yes.
Okay. I still have not read that, but I love Gail Simone. It is absolutely something I'm going to read. I
loved it. And I've only read a couple of Marvel books in my Marvel read through. So if I have time and I feel well enough this week, I want to get to that Marvel read through, because there's a bunch of really cool comics that Max has recommended to me. And then I can do my Euro review, which I think is going to be about 20 books, because I'm going to stick the Obscure Cities ones in there too. Shashi asking, how's it going, buddy? Jess, did you buy the Sin City Library editions? No, I love them. Good. I also bought all Mad Men Library editions. I recommendations and loved it. Yes, Madman. I'm totally in love with Madman. I have been since the time I first discovered it and started reading it. I'm glad you like it. Really glad.
Now, do you still have the Atomica edition of Madman, or did you get rid of that when they started doing the library editions?
I think I sold both of those Omnis that were so hard to find. Once I was convinced it was going to be everything that he was releasing, I decided to sell that and there was Atomica, and then there was the other Omni that was worth a chunk of change. Of course, I can't think of the name of it right now, but yeah, I did sell those once I was convinced that everything was going to be released. Titan Books, Static Press are releasing a lot of lovely European translations and hardbacks. I believe you sent me at least one Titan book that was crime oriented, that was not Cromwell Stone. Although I know you want me to read Cromwell Stone, and I'm going to do that.
I know Titan, and this is going back a while, but they did the reprints of Charlie's War, which is
I have that. Yeah,
fantastic war comic that they took from the old like serialized versions. Excellent war book.
Okay, I need to read that. Okay, you don't need to read them all. They're all standalone. Great. Jess, did you cut Omar's fiber optic cables while he was streaming yesterday? 2 winks for yes, 1 blink for no. Did he have problems yesterday? That's hilarious.
Oh, the stream got cut for like 5 minutes, and but don't worry, your secret's safe with us.
Okay, wait. Agree with Bunkmaster on Scumbag. Oh, that's too bad.
If you like Remender doing very, very Remender stuff, it's gonna hit with you. But if you like it when he's a little bit more restrained, yeah, of course, Cycle loves Scumbag. I don't. Yeah. It's Remender. It is Remenderiest. It's yeah.
Okay, they're talking about goiter here.
I feel like your streams have given Goiter more press, more advertisements than like anything else. Like, I feel like at this point, you deserve some of the royalties from Goiter just from like reading Cycle and everybody else's comments on stream.
Cycle, it was actually really good. I just don't want to talk about it now because that part of my past makes me physically ill to remember that stuff. If you're into that kind of thing, it's great. I almost want to throw up now. I shouldn't have brought it up. When are the Goiter reprints happening? I'm missing a few issues. And so then Cycle goes on to talk about Goiter. Cycle, you better send me Goiter. I think Ben's right. I deserve some kind of Goiter in my life, which is a sentence I never thought I'd say.
Yeah, again, so many new combinations of words that are happening here that have never happened before. I deserve Goiters, damn it.
Okay. So 90 minutes in, what are the recent reads? Is that how I advertise it? I forget. Okay. Haha, you should see the memes I couldn't send to Jess.
He's talking about the bunk memes.
Right. Thank you for the plug, bro. Wait.
He's at the review for World Tree on Comics Are Dope, his first published review.
Okay. So he was a guest on Comics Are Dope.
So in addition to the YouTube channel, BJ Kicks has a website where he does a lot of print stuff. And one of the things that he does there is some reviews, some features, and things like that. Like I've done some features on there. He's written some things, and Colt 45, he got a review, his first published review about the new James Tynion series World Tree.
Okay, good.
Just making sure that my wife isn't Okay, perfect.
Well, recent reads. Oh, good. Yeah, XO Omnibus from Valiant Comics, really good. Yes. Okay, then they go on to talk about goiter, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to believe it till I see it. Obscure Cities, yes. I'm going to get to a power bomb. Just I watched your Batgirl Bronze Age Volume 1 video yesterday, both the low res and high res version. Yeah, that was me in the early days. Do you have the second volume? If so, what are your thoughts? Honestly, New Spooey, that gets Batgirl smack in the middle of the Batman family era of Bronze. And as I've said before, but I'll say it again, that particular period broke me, especially the Justice League Bronze Age. Like Onslaught broke Omar, this broke the Bronze Age era of DC when I was 17, so 1976-ish, mid 70s to late 70s, was just not my jam, as the young people say. I just didn't dig it. If you are interested in Bronze Age, then I'm sure the second one will be okay with you. You might even be into Bronze Age Justice League and Superman. They haven't put anything out yet of freaking DC. I forgot I had a low res one, and somebody said, "Hey, can you make this video a little bit clearer? We can't really see anything." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I fixed my phone, but anyway, yeah, that was probably one of the very first technology disasters that I had. That was a really embarrassing one, actually. So I'm happy to revisit it. I'm gonna say, okay, yeah, we're gonna put this up again. Then they talk about the Beguiling, which is in Canada, and I've always wanted to go to. It's a great store, apparently. Goiter, surprise fan of Grandmix. Okay, okay. Recent reads. Let's get to the topic after 2 hours, 2.5 hours. What are some of your favorite recent reads?
All right, so we talked about two smaller press stories here, and are a little bit older, at least with Fell. My favorite recent read I've done, just the best story that I have read recently is, and I read it digitally, so I have to get my tablet out. Shout out to Cleveland Public Library, where I got where I'm using my Hoopla pass from.
Yeah.
Superman Space Age. This book is fantastic. So it does so many wonderful things. First off, it is Mark Russell, who is batting 1,000 for me. Mark Russell does not make bad books. It is Mike and Laura Allred. I'm not a huge Mike Allred fan. Like, as I was flipping through this, I'm sorry. I just, everybody looks like they're wearing eyeshadow or eyeliner, and I'm
true.
into it when it's Bowie. I'm not so into it when it's when Superman's right there looking glam rock version. But
that's fair.
This book right here does so many wonderful things. It takes a little bit of kind of that new frontier look at sort of our classic characters. It intersperses Crisis on Infinite Earths, and it's a retelling of basically the beginning of the Justice League, Superman coming to Earth, told through the lens of someone that basically knows everyone that they're working for, all of their life's work is going to come to an end. And it's very much a parallel, the space age of, the whole threat of nuclear weapons hanging over. What do we do if everything can end at a certain time? It's a beautiful story about hope. It's a very existential story of, we all know that we're going to die, that this isn't, this is all going to come to an end. So what do we do in the here and now? It's hopeful. It's sorrowful. it's at times it's Mark Russell, so you know there's going to be some really, really funny moments.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot recommend this book highly enough. This is the of new books. You know, I try to be, you know, an indie Ford guy. You know, there are some other amazing books I've read. You know, 20th Century Men right here is also on that short list, but here.
Let's hold on a sec to Superman Space Age, because Organic Price Books wants me to do an overview for it. So I should, if I feel well enough tomorrow, I will do that.
I specifically made sure I did not spoil anything there, because I need everybody to go and read this book and see how beautiful and wonderful it is.
Awesome.
You will. This book was made for you. You will love this book.
I honestly have chills. Okay, Aiku, we're talking about it now. Yeah. Okay, great. You did a super good bait sale on me. I already own it.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't need to sell it to you. You already bought it. And save $2 on the order. Well, using the code Omnidog.
I totally do use my own code. I do. It's somewhere here in the stack of my haul that I did. The stack of shame is right here next to me. Okay, yeah, I'm going to read this even before I read iZombie. I can't read Fell because I just ordered it. So, yeah, he does. Definitely don't go down. Yeah, I know Cycle has a lot of original art too. Just never claimed to be a good example. That's true. Oh yeah, wait, I do. Oh, here's Mr. Awesome, who listed a bunch of good books in the community tab, where we're looking for books to read for book club that you might possibly already own. I forgot. I also have the original art to the last issue of Irredeemable that my lovely friend Ryan Sace from Wales got a bunch of people at the time in 2019, rounded up a ton of internet friends, which are really my only friends, to go in on getting the original art. And that's in the other room. But when we do our original art show, I'll bring it in here. And I got Mark Wade to sign the copy of the last book, 32, and I have it matted and framed, and I put it up in my house, and I took a picture of it. And the first person to complain was, of course, Tyler Chu. Said, "Why didn't you get non-glare glass?" And I'm like, Tyler, just look at this, that greatness that people did for me. When you talk about what a cool small community we have, this was paying it forward type of action. I mean, it was last week. Last week's episode is when Kelly and Patty interrupted. It's that kind of thing that makes me love this community, because who else would think to get me that? Certainly none of my real life friends to get me that artwork. And it meant so much to me. It meant so much to me when I was hospitalized with pancreatitis for a week, that Ryan rounded up those people and got the original art. And it was my friend from Australia, who I haven't heard from in years, not Sherlock. Of course, I'm forgetting his name because I haven't heard from him in years. Mitch. He found the original art, and then everybody chipped in on it. So how the heck did I get on this tangent? Anyway, yeah, I got it. So that's what I'm going to show.
I mean, I love stories like that. It shows how special this community is. You know, a lot of times you hear, you know, about comics gatekeeping and people don't want to do it, but you know, way more than any of that, or the angry, you know, comics are too woke, or comics aren't, you know, any of that stuff. Way more than that. It's just people who love talking about the things we love and sharing the things we love with the people we love. And that is, I think, what's so special about the comics community.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Bunk. You hit it spot on. And that's actually why as much as I admire Very Fine Condition, of course, he's a good friend of mine, I don't want 80,000 subscribers and I won't get him, which is good because of course he's where everybody flocks to for Marvel stuff, and he has a knowledge base that he can pull up in his head that's amazing. But I don't want to get that big because staying small is how it's not. I'm not gatekeeping, but staying small is how everything stays special like that. I don't. Last week's video is a prime example of that. People who weren't even in the chat went to watch that video, and I'm still getting. I just got a compliment popped up on it just a few minutes ago. Where else would that happen? I can't think of where else that would happen, but here in our little small niche of collected editions and singles of Goiter.
Yeah.
Leaning Girl is number 6. Okay. Thank you. No, I'm all caught up practically. What are you talking about? Right. We want Goiters. Hot take. Nightfall is better than Year 2. Laughing my ass off. I saw a 19-year-old kid literally pass out and slam his head onto the floor because he saw a drop of blood while visiting a relative. You put IVs in people cycling? Oh my God, I've lost control of this chat. Oh.
Yeah, Cycle works for an unnamed, very large medical facility out here in Cleveland, which is known for our medical facilities. So,
right.
Yep.
I had no idea that Cleveland was trained in IV putting in of. I think that's the official word that they use.
That's on his resume.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
More accurately, I heard the loud potato sack hitting the floor sound of him. Okay, dude, Jess is going to be eating his words when he gets a whole box of indie comics. I will, once I see your large box of indie comics, I will get my wife in here for the unboxing and I'll have her go through the comics with me. That is a promise that I'm giving you.
I would love to see Patty just be like, what is Goiter? And you can be like, I don't know. I don't know.
There's this guy. He sent these to me.
Actually, you should invite your realtor friend as well, because she was loving Cycle Cleve, and you can be like, Cycle did this. And she'd be like, see, I had good judgment.
Yeah, I need to get Tracy back on as soon as possible. Rick Ray, there are mild references across the Obscure Cities books, but you definitely don't have to worry about order. Okay, good. I thought.
By the way, hey, Patty, at the very it just typed in. She's listening.
She in here?
Yeah. So, Patty, this is your life in a few weeks.
That's right. I'm going to get Patty in here for that. She must have heard me say her name. Good. That's why I want to have her in here when I unbox. Bow down to upper management, everyone.
All right, everyone on your best behavior right now.
That's right. Upper management is in the chat. I love it. Chris, the Omnidog community is extremely special, unique, and 100% a feel-good place. Great, Jess. Great job, Jess, your guests and the viewers. Thank you, Chris. You're part of it, and I greatly appreciate your presence. Jess, already have the best indie comic of the year. Where'd it go? Oh, right here. Bang by Griethus, which I need to read and review.
Especially when you get to chapter 4. Honestly, like the later stuff, Josh's art just gets better and better. But chapter 4, I think when you get to that is really where you're like, all right, this guy's onto something. Just the way he works with color and light.
Yeah, he sent me the files, and I read the first. I think I read the first issue or two, and I said, "But explain to me how this happens and this happens." And he wrote back, "Oh, you actually read it. The files weren't in order." And I'm like, "Well, dude, come on. You sent it to me, so of course I'm going to read it." Patty, greetings to one of the all-time greatest wives. Oh my God, look at this. Now there's a love affair going on. Holy guacamole.
All the ladies in your life love Cycle.
Patty alert first. Uh-oh, Power Wash. We haven't heard about Power Wash.
Also, can we just point out that Patty got Cycle Cleveland to go lowercase? We are done with the caps. That is the power that Patty has over this stream.
Oh my goodness.
Cycle's on his best behavior right now.
Yeah, he is. You're right. Yeah, you better. I don't want to know that Pete Davidson's up at your 50th college reunion in New Hampshire this fall. Better not be. Chess, I might have missed it, but any plans on checking out ATSV at the Sawmill Valley? What is that? What's he referring to?
All-terrain scout vehicle.
Oh,
I
that was a better guess than what I had. Let's see if there's. Wait. I sent Jess samples from chapter 17, then sent him chapters 1 through 16. Jess then asked, "Where's the rest?" I didn't forget a thing. No, I didn't say you forgot it. It's just that they weren't in order, and you were surprised that I actually read it. But I read enough that I wanted it in order, and now I got it. So that's awesome. Okay, thank you, sweetie. Can you bring me something to drink, please? Because I'm down to this. So hurry up and get me something to drink. Oh, that's nice, Josh. Thank you. I hope if she didn't see it, I'll take a screenshot of that. Uh-oh. She's stomping across the floor upstairs. Let's see. I already I can hear her hurrying up. This is gonna be good. For recent reads, I read Variants by Gail Simone. I already raved about it on Omnibros. I loved that. Gail Simone with Phil Noto art. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And it's Jessica Jones, and versions of her all of a sudden start popping up in her world, different multiverse versions of her. I loved that book. I highly recommend it.
That one's definitely on my list. I love Jessica Jones. I love Gail Simone.
Yep.
Match made in heaven.
Oh, here it comes.
No, don't turn it to me.
Okay. Thank you, sweetheart. Here's my empty.
Oh, Your Highness.
Thank you.
Love means putting someone else's needs above your own. God bless you, Patty.
Derek, you stay away from her too. You know what they say, a great man has twice. Oh yeah, this is 100% true. Has twice the woman by his side. I am shocked since he won't be named. Hasn't read it, even though done 2 interviews with him. You must be talking about Very Fine Condition.
However, his wife is the editor of later chapters on that. So Melanie at least has, but we also know that she's the better half of Very Fine.
And she's the one who actually taught Very Fine English.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah. Mary M. Patty's very good to you, Jess. She 100% is. And Mary, your book is in the mail that you won last week. So I hope you get it and enjoy it. You won Moon Knight. So I hope you enjoy it.
Great job, Mary. Hoping to see a podcast about that.
Yeah. I agree with this. I wish it was longer. I wish it was a big, thick book. You're 100% right, Mid-Masum Ranaduan. I wish there was more of it. It was so good. And then I read this Marvel Defenders book, which was awful. Wait, where is that? Boy, it was terrible. Wait, okay, there's Variants.
Is this the Chip Zdarsky Defenders book?
No, it's this one. the best defense. And it sounded really good. Doctor Strange, the Hulk, Namor, Submariner, Silver Surfer, an unsolvable murder, an aquatic doorway to nothingness, a wanderer at the end of time, and a cosmic train of planetary proportions. Here's where it went wrong. Immortal Hulk chapter is written by Al Ewing.
Love it.
Oh, yeah. Namor is by Chip Zdarsky. Doctor
Okay.
Strange, Jerry Dugan.
Okay.
Silver Surfer, Jason Latour. And then Defenders again by Al Ewing. There were
Those are all names I like.
Same. Love all of those writers. This book was made for me, but I think there were too many cooks in this kitchen because none of it made sense to me when they tried to tie it all together at the end. It started off well with Immortal Hulk. I really got a kick out of that part. Where it went, okay, then it made sense when it went to Namor. It's the new suit Namor wears. Maybe it's what he wore in Wakanda. I still haven't seen that yet. Namor wants to go make peace with a race of Atlanteans that want to be that have been kicked out and formed their own society. So he wants to go make peace with them to rally allies and attack the surface. Okay, fine. That story was fine. But then he takes the leader of the people that were exiled up into space because he can breathe the earth air and the other guy can't, and so he kills him, but then he ends up in space, and then the Doctor Strange part was okay, but then Namor ends up like a Silver Surfer type of guy, right? I can't even explain it. He's in space somehow and he survived even though he should have died. There's some dude on a train that's destroying planets, and all of a sudden that world where the city underneath where Atlantis was, all of a sudden becomes like a water world out in space that is floating along, and Namor becomes the Namor Surfer with this water world all of a sudden up into the cosmos. What the hell's going on in this book? I know all these characters. I'm up on all these characters. And these writers, it was mind-boggling. And it could be a case of Little Bird where I just didn't understand they were rebelling against some religious overseers. It just lost me. And if I was a newcomer to comics and didn't know the Marvel backgrounds of these guys, I would understand how I was lost. But I'm actually up to date on these dudes. I may reread it again to give it a better chance. And maybe somebody in the chat is going to say, Jess, this book is the greatest Marvel book ever. You are not reading it properly. Okay, peace and love. It's possible. But what? This thing just went nowhere after it set itself up really well. It was just a whole blob of weirdness. I was really unimpressed.
See, it sounds like the problem isn't that it didn't go nowhere. The problem is it went everywhere.
Yeah, I think you're right. So excited to get the book. Good. Defenders, the best defense is really good. Okay, Rick, maybe in the comments below, you'll tell me what I missed.
As mentioned, though, Rick mostly is right on point. Sometimes has really bad takes. It could just be that this is one of them.
I do need to do that, Elon. Thank you. I have read all of those. What? No, wait. Are those? Yeah, those are Hanna-Barbera books. I read all those to do a video, and I need to do that.
So that was like Flintstones, Snagglepuss, your favorite, the Garth Ennis one that you absolutely loved, and it was your favorite book you've ever read.
Yeah, I kept that for the review. Afterwards, that's going to Second and Charles. Oh, here's the Comic Slayer. Represent.
You missed me talking about how you and Jess were actually a part of my Milo's, kind of history. So my son is Milo, and he is named after Milo Goes to College. So I couldn't come on this stream and not wear my Descendant shirt.
This makes me want to play that album right after the stream.
I saw them last fall. They still have it. I mean, they look as old as you think, but
I think they're like my age.
I think they might even have a little bit. Yeah, I mean, Bill is still just the happiest. They still have such a great dynamic. I love watching them. It just, I've seen some older punk bands that have, either continued to go or have gotten back together. And it's like, I don't know that you should be doing that. And for them, it's just like they're all still having such a good time. They still have such stage presence. Milo, of course, is such a ecologically minded guy. He has a water bottle strapped to his back as opposed to like getting the stage hands to like get him water, and he's just like has it just strapped on himself and is doing it's perfect. They are still killing it. They are still doing amazing things. And
was this in Cleveland that you saw them?
Yep.
And who else was on the bill?
So H2O was also there, who was another so they were a 90s punk band. They were also on Epitaph Records at the same time that the Descendants got signed there. So they're actually a multi-generational punk band. So the lead singer's son of H2O, he's playing the drums for them now. And then there was a young new band called Surfboard that was the first opener. They killed it. They were so good. Just like that, it was cool that they had like the multi-generational thing. They had such good energy. They were just going out. Really enjoyed seeing them.
That's cool. And was there a mosh pit?
There was. And I went into it. And the next morning at work, I was like, I am too old to do this anymore, which is the same thing I say every time I go to a show and don't take the day off the next day. But yeah, it was great.
Even when I was 24, I would go sit down and watch them running at full speed in the mosh pit. I was like,
See, I'm 6'6", so I have to at least be on the outside because I'm the guy that everybody comes up to and goes up, and I do the yank up so they can stage, so they can crowd surf. So I consider it my civic duty to help get everybody up there.
I had no idea you were that tall. No wonder you played basketball in high school.
It's true. I was not on the golf team. I was not Darth Braggadocio.
What? Yeah, well then, yeah, he wants to make peace with his allies so they can attack the surface. Yes. Yeah, I liked it. Ewing going full cosmic worked for me. Okay, I will definitely give it another shot.
I do just have to say I probably have about 10 or so more minutes.
Okay, good.
I need
10-minute warning.
But that being said, if you want to make this a classic 4-hour Jess stream after I jump off, like, do not let me stop you on that. But
no,
I do have some family plans. I got it.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I really enjoyed this, but I have the Minister of Comics tonight at 8.
Which, by the way, everyone should appreciate the fact that on a Sunday, the Minister is coming out for this and is making time for that. So shout out to Taylor being flexible and adaptable. You have some good people around you.
And you're one of them.
Oh, shucks. Like I said, I'm normally one of the people in the chat. I'm just happy to be interacting with you at all. I love this community. I love getting to be here.
Yeah, I love this. I've had a blast.
Me too.
I've generally liked all of Ewing's Defenders books, especially the ones with Javier Rodriguez. I have 2 or 3, at least 2 Ewing Defender books on their way here. But okay, maybe I just need to reread it because it all fell apart for me at the end. And Ewing was writing it, and it got very cosmic, very quick. so maybe it's me. It could have been user error. I freely admit that it could have been user error.
By the way, I not to go out of order on comments, but I am seeing the newest, and Scotty D just dropped a really nice super chat, so you might want to jump down real quick and give Scotty D a shout out.
Oh, whoa! Thank you, Scotty G. Appreciate that. I never get super chats. Thank you so much.
As a mea culpa, I'm late to the stream, but stay able to cap some. Scotty, you just being here is enough.
That's his Mustang too, I think.
That is a boss car right there.
Right, exactly. Oh, here's some music. The OCs.
Okay. I actually probably will be checking that out. X is coming to the House of Blue. I love X.
I saw them twice back in the day.
I have never seen them, but Los Angeles is one of my favorite albums. I just saw that they are on the bill for. And Wild Gift is great too, but I mean, nothing beats Los Angeles. I just saw that they are on the bill coming for July, so I was already like, okay, I'm doing this. I did not know that the OCs are coming. I do like the OC. I like the Beachland a lot. I'll probably end up going to see that.
Nice. I can't think of. I think Cycle saw the Cloud Nothings at a hot dog restaurant.
Yeah, the Happy Dog. They played there like a few months ago. Actually, like our really good friends run the Happy Dog. I was really jealous. I did not get to do that, but I had a friend Jess who was actually running the door at that show.
When he told me that, I was like, I love the Cloud Nothings, and they're playing at a hot dog shack. What is that?
Yeah,
that's so cool that they're playing it at some hot dog place.
So that the Happy Dog is first off, it's a bar and restaurant upstairs, and like their big thing is like they have 50 different like ingredients that you can put on a hot dog. So like you got your classic onions, you got mustard, relish, but they also have SpaghettiOs, Fruit Loops, pulled pork, like anything you can imagine. They have that on there, and then underneath they have a venue called the Underdog, and they always host like really cool, mostly like small time shows. Like the Cloud Nothings is definitely like the biggest name I think I've seen on the bill from them recently. But yeah, it's a super cool spot.
Wow. Here's a question, because Super Laugh Hard and I think Cycle Cleveland got me into the Idols. Like not the Idols.
I do not know them, but when I saw Super Laugh Hard put that at the first, I read that as Bunkmasta. Do you like ladies? And I was like, that's getting awfully personal.
I thought that's what that said too.
I mean, are you asking for a reason, Super Laugh Hard? I mean, we can talk after the stream. I don't know Idols, but if you're recommending based on Descendants and that other talk, I will definitely give them a check.
You will love Idols.
I'm gonna queue it up on my Spotify right now to listen, because otherwise I will probably forget.
They Super Laugh Hard sent me a bunch of videos that you can see on YouTube, and their live performance. It's obviously it's their live performances. What was it at? Like the Beachland Ballroom.
So the Beachland is an awesome venue that's out here in Cleveland. I don't know if it's that one, but
I wonder if it's the one in Cleveland now that I'm thinking about it. But Super Laugh Hard, what's that really great song that I love by them? It was the very first one. They've got a cello in there. The keyboardist then switches to guitar. It rocks really hard. What was that song? I think it might have been the first one you sent me, and Cycle's really into him too.
Also, shout out, we have BJ Kicks in the house right now. Comics Are Dope just got here.
Oh, wow. Wait. There's a bunch of band recommendations. Idols, Beachland Ballroom. Oh, okay. So that's in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you need to search on YouTube. It's amazing.
Okay. I'm always down to check out a live show.
Idols playing live at Beachland is legendary, and they wrote a single with the name. Oh, okay. So it's Beachland Ballroom is the song that I'm thinking of.
There's an awesome pizza place right across from there too. And on like show days, they always sell out. But yeah, that place is awesome for like just grabbing something beforehand.
Played the Grog Shop right after that too.
Grog Shop's another smaller venue out here in Cleveland.
I wonder if I need to visit Cleveland and go to some of these venues with you. I obviously am not going to be able to mosh. I'll sit somewhere if I can, but I want to put SpaghettiOs on my hot dog and then go get pizza after seeing anybody that plays. It sounds awesome.
Yeah, you can do like house done pulled pork and like all these other things, and they get like SpaghettiOs and Fruit Loops on top of that. It just, like it's like they give you a sheet and you basically just mark off what you want in your hot, because there's no way you're going to give it to your waiter or waitress and be like, hey, can you give me this and this.
Okay,
and so it's almost like a sushi sheet or like a taco sheet where you write how many and like what you want, and then you just hand it to them.
Okay, let's see. Has anyone seen Mogwai live? I have a ton of Mogwai albums. I love post-rock. Love post-rock.
I've listened to I haven't listened to Mogwai in years. Elon's getting at me there. I know I've listened to Mogwai years. Like I used to be before I had kids and things like that. It was like I was someone who was daily reading music blogs, like checking out new releases all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I know I've listened to them. I do, like, when it comes to post rock at this point, Explosions in the Sky is the only thing I could point to and just be like, oh yeah, post rock there. But
love them.
Oh yeah.
Those are my post rock and my punk albums, and my soundtracks were the only things I kept. I had no idea I actually owned 5,000 albums, but that's what sold. They said that I sold, or did it? Yeah. And so I kept, but I made sure I kept my punk. I was so worried that I had sold my Social Distortion album because I couldn't find it. Mommy's Little Monster, which is my all-time favorite record. And I found it in the punk section of my not really organized new collection. Oh my gosh. If I had sold that, there'd be no way I could find it again. Oh, let's see. Oh, Derek's mother used to be happening. My mother used to go slam dancing. Yes, she was old school punker. How I got into punk when I was a kid. That's boss.
So I think with that, I probably need to jump off here. But like I said, Jess, this has been a pleasure. Please do not let me stop you from continuing a four. You know what? Just have a concurrent stream. Just turn this into Batter Days when Taylor jumps on. We know that you're the Iron Man of streams. I have seen you do multiple 4-hour streams in a weekend, sometimes even in a day. So
I loved having you on, Bunkmasta.
This was amazing. Thank you so much for this.
Oh, thank you for joining. And if you want to check out Bunkmasta's channel, it's down below in the description, and James put it in multiple times. I'll be on again in 4 hours at 8 o'clock with Batter Run Days in the Batcave. Taylor and I are going to do a special Sunday show. Peace and love. Peace and love. Thank you to the chat, which was fantastic today. Thank you to Bunkmasta and everybody. Thank you to Scotty G for the super chat, and Organic Price Books, and everybody in the world. Peace and love. Peace and love. I'm going to use our theme song to play us out. Thank you, Bunk.